And he has got that start today, Joe Rothwell, in the Bournemouth lineup for their FA Cup third round tie here at the Vitality Stadium against the Championship leaders Burnley. It's a tough one for Gary O'Neill and his side to negotiate this afternoon. Burnley flying under Vincent Kompany. What are we? 4 minutes to go until kick-off. The players are in the tunnel, just making their way out onto the pitch. Bournemouth led by Adam Smith wearing the captain's armband this afternoon. So it's time for me to hand you to your commentary team. Remember, we're on all frequencies: FM, DAB, Freeview Television channels 722 and 726. And we're online today as well. BBC Sounds via the app. Search for BBC Radio Solent, click Listen Live. And if you've got a smart speaker, ask it to play BBC Radio Solent to guide you through the next 90 minutes. The former Bournemouth defender John Williams is alongside Chris Temple.
Thank you, Jordan. FA Cup third round Saturday certainly is always one that is exciting to look at in the calendar. And here we are, Cherries, with a home tie after a tricky little spell of away games over the course of the last couple of weeks since returning from the World Cup break. But certainly keen to put the Palace performance here 7 days ago out of their minds. And they've certainly got a very positive reception from the supporters at what is nearly a full house here at the Vitality Stadium, save for a few empty seats in the Burnley travelling section across on the far side. 3 changes for the Cherries from the game at Manchester United on Tuesday night. Lloyd Kelly and Chris Mepham are rotated to the bench, and Jefferson Lerma doesn't feature at all today. Mark Travers is the keeper. Adam Smith at right back captains the team. He'll be suspended at Brentford next week, so plays today. Jack Stevens comes in, the Southampton loanee, to partner Marcos Senesi at the heart of the defence. Jordan Zamora at left back. Lewis Cook, Phil Billing and Joe Rothwell complete the midfield 3. And the front 3, Jadon Anthony wide left. Ryan Christie, who had one of his better games in recent times at United on Tuesday, he plays on the right. And it is Dom Solanke down the middle, who has spared many a cup tie, but plays this time with the Cherries looking for their first goal in 5 games. The bench: Plain, Kelly, Mepham, Stacey, Marcondes, Pearson, Lowe, Dembele and Moore. As for Burnley, they make 5 changes from their 2-1 win at Swansea last time out in the Championship. One of them's in goal, where Bailey Peacock Farrell replaces Ari Muric. The back 4 from the right: Connor Roberts, the Welsh international, Taylor Harwood-Bellis on loan from Manchester City, Jordan Bayer and Charlie Taylor. The sitting midfielders are Josh Cullen and Josh Brownhill. Ahead of them, Manuel Benson, Anas Zahouri and Johan Berg Goodmanson just behind Ashley Barnes. Their bench: Muric the keeper, one-time Cherries loanee Jack Cork, who is their regular captain, another Saints loanee Nathan Teller, Scott Twine, Luke McNally, Darko Chulinov, Halil Derisoglu, CJ Egan-Riley and Sami Bastien. We're standing by for kick-off. The weather's been pretty atrocious, Willow, in the course of the last couple of hours. It seems to have been following us around this week, the dodgy weather, but we are standing by to go. The rain has cleared up, the atmosphere is good. It will zip the pitch up a bit, Willow, and third round Saturday, as we know, is always a special one.
Yeah, FA Cup, of course. Just waiting for the Bournemouth shout to go.
The words of Nonny via the big screen, the late Cherry supporter, who now is a fixture here in voice and his face on the screen as well, as we stand by to get underway on BBC Radio Solent. Our referee this afternoon just making the final checks, which always still include counting up the number of players on the pitch, which seems an unnecessary extra bit of admin these days. Surely someone else could do that for him, but we're standing by to get underway as we wait for the clock to tick round to 3 o'clock on a busy Saturday afternoon. This is the third commentary we've brought you of the day already. Portsmouth brave in defeat, 1-0 away at Tottenham. Southampton progressing after a victory away at Crystal Palace. And the Cherries in red and black stripes, black shorts and red socks, kicking from left to right towards the Ted McDougall South Stand. Burnley in their changed colours of sky blue, navy blue shorts and sky blue socks. And Lewis Cook down the right side of the penalty area. Fast start, Bournemouth will get a corner here inside the first 30 seconds of the game. John Williams
Tugging it quickly.
Ryan Christie picks up the short corner, whips one in towards the penalty spot where Anthony was in there, and he's being held, but unfortunately under pressure, skimmed off the top of his head and went all the way through for a goal kick.
Nice and bright, wasn't it, to win the corner? Cookie first of all. Just as you're trying to get into your commentary, he's too quick. He's took the corner. Good cross in the box. Good start.
So as I say, our officials are led by Tim Robinson. We do have VAR this afternoon because this is a Premier League ground. FA Cup matches at Premier League grounds have VAR, and there would be a replay if the score ends
I know you're looking forward to that.
Well, no one can wait for that. Only in rounds 3 and 4 now will there be replays in the FA Cup. Jack Stevens down the right-hand side, looking to release Solanke in a race on this near touchline with the German Jordan Bayer, who holds him off strongly and knocks it back to his keeper, Bailey Peacock-Farrell, defending the goal away to our right. And a bit like the last goalkeeper who played here, Willow, Gaeta of Crystal Palace. Peacock-Farrell has also got some black leggings on, away to our right. Here's Berg Gudmundsson, the Iceland international. Out wide on the left it goes for Zaroury, one of the World Cup representatives for Burnley. Down the left-hand side, Zaroury's crossed into the penalty area, up in the air from Stevens, lands around the penalty spot and cleared away by Rothwell for the Cherries, back up towards the halfway line. And a very hectic first minute and a half, John Williams.
Yeah, both teams going at it, good to see. FA Cup's often like that.
Charlie Taylor down this left-hand side for Burnley. Stevens has hooked it up in the air down this near right touchline. Some nice skill from Christie to take it down. Then he clips the heels of Charlie Taylor, and it's a free kick to Burnley halfway inside the Bournemouth half of the field on this near left-hand side. One person we haven't mentioned yet, Willow. Of course, Burnley down the last few years traditionally linked with Sean Dyche and his way of playing. It's very different under the former Manchester City defender Vincent Kompany.
Yeah, it's just been talking to one or two of the Burnley reporters, and they've been saying it's absolutely fantastic the way the team pass the ball around now.
They are the top scorers in all 4 divisions of the English League pyramid, and they have a free kick here on this near side the left. They've sent the big men forward from the back. Keep an eye, well, don't keep an eye because you're listening on the radio, you can't see it, but Taylor Harwood-Bellis will be in there. There's a big wall of a man, mountain of a man, the Manchester City youngster. We wait still for this free kick to be taken. Cherries have a 2-man wall. Whipped in left-footed by Berg Gudmundsson over everybody. Phil Billing didn't get a shout and tried to head it but missed it. Picked up in the far corner on that side by Benson. Right side of the penalty area. Back it comes now for Roberts. Fires one in towards the penalty spot. Senesi was well positioned, and then some very brave footwork from Joe Rothwell inside his own penalty area to dribble past one and then clear. Travers's clearance wasn't the best. It still hasn't quite made it out of the Bournemouth defensive third, and they now have it on the edge of the penalty area with Adam Smith on this near right hand side.
Should have just mentioned there, we haven't forgotten about our problem from set plays, by the way. We're just not mentioning them at the moment.
Try not to think about it till it becomes a real issue. Back it goes to the Northern Ireland international keeper Bailey Peacock-Farrell, away to our right. Burnley also recently have been to Manchester United. They lost there in the League Cup just before the resumption of the Premier League and the Championship, as the ball is back on this near side with Burnley once again, and Berg Gudmundsson, and that play from Ashley Barnes with a rare opportunity down the middle was applauded by Vincent Kompany, who, like Gary O'Neill, is a black tracksuit manager down there in the Burnley training kit with a black cap on top of his head as well, as it's picked up on the far side legally by Jordan Zamora as Burnley claimed a foul. Zamora over halfway, then he ran straight into Cullen in the centre of midfield, and it's brought away by Burnley on the right hand side now with a chance for Benson once again over on that far side, running at Senesi, who sticks out a boot, gets an important interception in, and Senesi battling away and comes away with the ball, and then he and Zamora left it to each other, but that was good work there from the Argentinian Senesi.
It was great work. Good ball that by Cookie.
Nice feint by Lewis Cook as well. Sent the left winger down the wrong passage, and it's Adam Smith down in front of us, near side the right. Christie makes the run down the right side of the box. Across comes Bayer. Smith with the cross, right hand side. Anthony coming in at the back post, flicked off the head of Roberts, and out for a Bournemouth throw, 10 yards for the flag, far side.
That is exactly what we want to see. Breaking down the right hand side, ending in a cross.
Zamora over on the left hand side, now held up by Jaden Anthony once again, trying to get onto his right foot, flicks it down there by the corner flag and overplays it. Billing can't get on the end of it, and it's behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, but going down this right hand side, it was a great ball out by Cookie to get it switched, and then Smithy gets a little lay back and he whips the ball in. Unfortunately only 2 in the box, but it's still reassuring to see that happening.
Earlier in the FA Cup, Crystal Palace 1, Southampton 2, Gillingham 0, Leicester 1, Preston 3, Huddersfield 1, Reading 2, Watford 0, and Tottenham 1, Portsmouth 0. Those are the 12:30 matches. Chesterfield 0, West Brom 1. Chesterfield one of 3 non-league clubs remaining in the competition, but West Brom a header. That's a poor ball from Senesi, give it away, and now a chance for Manuel Benson, in for Burnley, and scores for Burnley. Marcus Senesi, the guilty party, presented Burnley with the ball, and the Championship leaders take ruthless advantage as Manuel Benson slams in his 8th goal of the season. 5.5 minutes played, and Bournemouth behind in the FA Cup.
Well, a disaster for the centre half. Senesi, I can't understand. I mean, he could have took a touch. He didn't have to play it first time. I don't know what was in his mind. That's after an exciting start. That's blown the wind out of us a bit.
Well, 6 minutes weren't even on the watch. Senesi, we've mentioned he's growing in confidence every game, and in there as the senior defender today in terms of match minutes, giving it away straight away to Burnley. And of course, as soon as you present the ball away in a situation like that, well, all the defenders are out of position. Zamora had no chance with his winger.
Well, that's the thing nowadays. When everybody's wanting the ball, nobody's in the position they want defensively.
Anthony over on the left-hand side then, cleared away. As I said, Burnley are the top scorers in the 4 divisions of the English Football League Pyramid and Premier League, so it was always going to be a problem here. They were going to have an attacking threat, but certainly a helping hand like that is not what Gary O'Neill had on his pre-match flip chart. And the 1,000 or so travelling supporters from Burnley already getting good reward for what I know has been a difficult journey in horrible conditions and no trains today either because of the strike. Back it comes to the centre of their defence again, and Jordan Bayer out to this near side. Charlie Taylor. Burnley were 1-0 winners last time they came here in the Premier League. That winner was scored by Jay Rodriguez with their only shot on goal a couple of seasons ago. In fact, sorry, that was in the Championship before the ball down this near side. Picked up by Charlie Taylor again. Out on this near touchline. Burnley just happy to play it around at the minute as Dom Solanke chases on through to the goalkeeper. Over on the right hand side, little turn by Harwood Bellis, who played against Cherries in the League Cup for Manchester City last time the Bournemouth were up there, as Stevens volleys it forward. A 3-time FA Cup quarter-finalist with Southampton, but still Burnley just happy to keep possession inside their own half, and eventually Bayer clears it down this near side up towards Barnes, who nods it in field away from Stevens and opens up some space for Goodmanson up towards the halfway line. And now over to the right hand side, and Connor Roberts, World Cup teammate with Wales of Chris Mepham and Kiefer Moore, the Cherries pair, both of whom are on the bench today. Burnley got it at the back again here.
That's the last 2 headers Barnes has won against Stevens. Not a good start when you're a centre half.
Some olays from the Burnley fans as Josh Cullen moves it forward towards the centre circle again. Barnes this time dropped off 5 yards in front of Stevens, and it's worked out to the left, and Berg Goodmanson once again. We've had Zaroury making the run down the left side, but was ignored. Burnley a long bout of possession here without Bournemouth getting a kick. They might do now as Cullen's overhit that down towards the corner flag away to our left, and it'll be a Bournemouth throw level with the edge of their own box. 1-0 Burnley.
It's certainly a different way of playing than we're used to when we play Burnley. Used to be get your tin hats on and wait for the bombardment.
Yeah, it's all change here. Big turnover of personnel, of course, as well as a change of manager in the summer. A lot of their players, the old centre-half pair of Tarkowski and me, both leaving the club on freeze. Nathan Collins to Wolves, and Maxwell Cornet, Dwight McNeil, Nick Pope, Wout Weghorst, amongst others, all leaving the club over the summer, replaced by some bright talent from the European market, which is where Bournemouth are
14
shopping.
Signings they've made, apparently.
Yeah,
I read.
a lot of signings. A couple more have gone out in this window already. I think 3 or 4 have already gone out in this window, so maybe Ashley Westwood to follow them as well, as Lewis Cook up to the halfway line. 1-0 Burnley. Down this right side, Ryan Christie for the Jerrys. Lewis Cook didn't know where the ball was. It goes on ahead of him, and unfortunately his indecision, he then allowed the defender Bayer to get across and then clipped his heels as he ran towards the corner flag, and Burnley get the free kick.
Yeah, that's twice Lewis Cook has been bright on this right hand side. I don't know what he's clipping his heels for there. He's heading towards the corner flag. Anything could have happened.
And of course, Bournemouth's FA Cup run last season was brought to an unceremonious halt here by non-league Boreham Wood, who are still in the competition this season. In the 3rd round again, they're at home to Accrington Stanley today. No goals, as I've heard, in that one so far. Chesterfield, as I said, behind 1-0 to West Brom. 66 places between those two in the football pyramid. The biggest gap in the pyramid in the competition was Gillingham against Leicester. Bottom of the Football League against Leicester in the low reaches of the Premier League, and Leicester winning that 1-0 as Solanke loses it on the halfway line. Bournemouth 0, Burnley 1 in the 3rd round of the FA Cup on all of our radio frequencies, on Freeview as well this afternoon, and via BBC Sounds and the BBC Sport website as well. You're listening to BBC Radio Solent, the home of every Cherries game, home and away in all competitions. But at the moment it's the visitors from East Lancashire who hold a 1-0 advantage through Manuel Benson on 6 minutes, picking up on a mistake by the Cherries centre-half Marcus Senesi. Out towards this near side. Picked up again by Burnley with Zaroury, who was at the World Cup, had to wait till the 3rd place playoff with Morocco against Croatia to get on the field. Out in Qatar did Anas Zaroury, playing wide on the left for Burnley this afternoon, as it's over on the right-hand side with Harwood Bellis, who's a bit off guard with his ball forward. Then Senesi's lost it again to Benson over on that right hand side. Marcos Senesi's having a wobbly few minutes here, tackling away to try and win it back, and Burnley have to go inside their own half.
Yeah, just wants to get a couple of passes in to settle himself down. He's usually pretty good at keeping the ball.
Well, certainly under no pressure as well, like it was the one he gave it away when it was knocked through for Benson, right-footed, inside right channel to hammer it past Travers. And Burnley again still happy to play it around at the back here on this near side with Charlie Taylor. He's in at left back for Ian Matson, the Chelsea loanee, another of their bright players who's being wrapped in cotton wool as well today. He was out here doing some running earlier, but like Jay Rodriguez, not in the squad today. Ian Matson, as it goes back to Peacock Farrell in the Burnley goal. That's a mistake to Ryan Christie. Oh, Burnley with a charitable gift present it straight back to the Cherries. One mistake each, one goal each. Josh Cullen for Burnley knocked it across his own penalty area straight to Ryan Christie, who finished it first time, and the game can start again with 12 minutes gone. 1-1.
Ryan Christie!
Absolutely fantastic finish. I was worried he's going to blaze it over the bar, but he's just put his foot through it, kept it hard and low, beat the goalkeeper. Yeah, fantastic finish, no doubt about that.
Well, the festive season of goodwill has gone, but it's just extended by a few days here. We say, do you know what, we feel a bit sorry for you, Bournemouth, have this one back. Let's start again. 2 mistakes, 2 goals, and that is Bournemouth's first goal in 393 minutes since Jadon Anthony scored against Everton here before the World Cup break. It's about 2 months, Willow, since Bournemouth scored a goal, albeit there's been a World Cup in the middle.
Well, it feels kind of strange. I was just wondering how he was going to deal with it. I knew it was going to bounce before it got to him, but he did fantastic. He just drove it into the ground before the keeper could get back.
Well, it had been 10 years since Bournemouth had gone 4 games without a goal, as they had done in the last 4 games. I did look up today out of interest, Willow, as the ball goes back to the Burnley keeper. The last time they went 5 in a row without scoring, as Peacock Farrell. Well, Burnley are suddenly the ones now to wobble as they make another unforced mistake and put it out for a throw-in over by the corner flag on the far side to Bournemouth.
5 goals?
5 games without a goal. Sean O'Driscoll era, 2003 was the last time they went 5 without a goal. Really? We don't need that stat anymore because they've scored.
You have such an interesting life.
That's right. I did this Friday night, last night, scrolling through the internet. I'll teach you what the internet is at some point. Senesi down the left side for the Cherries, who I imagine will be breathing a bit easier than most that his mistake has been cancelled out, and it's back to 1-1 here as Burnley now tackle each other. 2 players fall to the ground. What's happened to Burnley? They've absolutely imploded in the last couple of minutes. Mistakes at the back, tackling each other. 2 of them fell over there. Harwood Bellis is now limping as a result of clashing with his teammate. Anthony over on the far side, the left for the Cherries, halfway inside Burnley territory. They just calm it down, and Harwood Bellis is still limping, their centre half.
Well, they both had a bang into one another.
It's a good tackle, but on his own teammate. Took the ball and the man.
Usually you pass it to the team in the same shirt as you.
14 minutes gone. BBC Radio Solent around the UK today. Reaction on our Twitter at Solent Sport from Portsmouth's defeat at Spurs and Southampton's win at Crystal Palace. And Burnley now are going to need some attention here as Bournemouth are given a free kick over the halfway line. And Taylor Harwood-Bellis, having been tackled by his own teammate, is now sitting down on the turf and has got the game stopped. That probably won't hurt Vincent Kompany's men too much because they just need to take a deep breath here, don't they?
Harwood-Bellis, quite an unusual name, isn't it? Is he English boy?
You don't listen to me, do you? No. On loan from Manchester City, homegrown product, 20 years of age.
Yeah.
I'll repeat all the things I've already said about him.
I'm concentrating.
Yeah, not on me. As Zamora plays it back towards the halfway line again, Harwood-Bellis is back on his feet now and seems to be okay. The physio wasn't required in the end as the ball down the left looking for Anthony. Has Roberts backpedaling in defence with the header, and then Billy looked like he was pushed, or did he make plenty of it as the challenge came in from Brownhill over on that far side, the Burnley captain. And it's now held out to this left hand side where Charlie Taylor will move it up to halfway from left back. For Burnley in their change colours of blue and navy blue with just a hint of claret on the shorts and on the socks as well, as Christie has then lost it on halfway, and it's Goodmanson running along the halfway line from left to right, and out to the far side it goes, and Connor Roberts once again. And Burnley just calm it down as Bournemouth get everybody back behind the ball. 15.5 minutes gone, Bournemouth 1, Burnley 1.
Yeah, it's sort of changed round now. Bournemouth seems to be the one being able to hold the ball.
Taylor's ball over the top, and it's dealt with well that time by Jack Stevens, who's been pretty short of match minutes, as we said, the Southampton loanee. He did turn out and play half a game at Winchester City in the World Cup break as well to keep a bit of fitness up. Did Jack Stevens. He, of course, has seen the Southampton managership change since he signed on loan from Southampton here for the season, but has found himself behind Senesi and Mepham and Kelly in those central defensive positions. Taylor on this near side once again now for Burnley. Up it goes once again to Zaroury. This time it's Goodmanson who runs into the aforementioned Stevens. Cook helped him out, and Burnley have to go back to their central defenders away to our right. Peacock Farrell's been a bit dodgy with the ball at his feet the last couple of times.
Yes, he has.
Cherries fans giving in the cheer. It's another risky ball from Harwood Bellis along the edge of the penalty area.
He likes to entertain, doesn't he?
Well, from the angle Vincent Kompany was looking at that, Willow, seeing Solanke in between the two of them, I reckon that might have given him a heart flutter. But it reached its intended destination that time, and Burnley again are happy to knock it around along the edge of the halfway line. Long ball from Harwood Bellis down the right side, looking for the Burnley goal scorer Benson. Jordan Zamora wanted Travers to come, and Travers was just biding his time there, waiting for the ball to skid up off the slippy turf.
I didn't like that, actually. It was quite clearly going to run through, but Travers, there should be a big loud shout for that so he can turn away.
Well, I think he was just waiting to see what he was going to do off the wet turf, Travers, in fairness to him. He judged it well in the end.
And I've seen them hit people on the head, though.
Stevens down this right hand side for the Cherries, but his way out is blocked on this near touch line, and he has to go back to the centre of his defence. And Senesi once again. I was looking at some of the percentage figures, Willow, in my preparation for this game, and some of the cup ties earlier on this season. Burnley had 85% and 81% of possession in those two games against Shrewsbury and Crawley, so lower league teams, but it just shows the dominance they can have on the ball. Here they are again with Zaroury, tries to bend one inside the right hand post, and plenty of bend on it, but Mark Travers was diving to his left. I think had it covered, as it probably went a couple of yards wide in the end.
Zaroury, I was talking about him before the game with the Burnley people, and they say he's a box of tricks. You can see why they're thinking that.
Brighton have scored at Middlesbrough. Very long trip as it is for the Burnley fans down here to the south coast in opposition. Middlesbrough 0, Brighton 1. Chesterfield of the National League have equalised against Championship West Brom 1-1 in that game. Chesterfield managed, of course, these days by the former Pompey boss Paul Cook. Back at Chesterfield. 18 minutes played here. Bournemouth 1, Burnley 1. A mistake apiece as Zamora goes sliding in on the far side on Benson. That's actually given as a free kick by referee Robinson. Blackpool have taken the lead against Forest in the FA Cup as well. Marvin Ekpateta has got that goal, so that's the Championship leading the Premier League. And referee Robinson actually wants a chat here with Jordan Zamora about that challenge. Well, Zamora seemed to get the ball, Willow, but also seemed to pile through Manuel Benson at the same time.
Yeah, it's so close nowadays, isn't it? You know, if you win the ball and then there's contact, sometimes you're going to get a foul against you. Most times, probably.
Free kick to Burnley, just over the halfway line on the far side, the right. It's just got Brownhill stood over it. Barnes is forward, obviously from centre half. They've left centre forward. They've left Harwood Bellis back on the halfway line for this one, so not throwing all of their aerial guns forward. As it's whipped in by Brownhill to the edge of the penalty area. Not a great delivery, headed away by the Cherries' Lewis Cook on the edge of the box. So we hit 19 minutes gone, 1-1 the score. Brownhill over on the far side once again for Burnley, who have to now go back towards Connor Roberts, who's coming forward 10 yards over halfway. Infield it goes to Cullen, the former West Ham man, whose mistake led to the Cherries' equaliser. Out to the far side, the right it goes again. Benson holds it up against Anthony, who's joining forces with Zamora over on that far side. Benson skips past one, then skips past two into the penalty area. Still going Benson, shot into a crowd. Bournemouth have got numbers back there, and then Jaden Anthony is fouled on the left corner of his own penalty area. Free kick Cherries.
Yeah, good bit of defending by Anthony. Little bit of skills, went past 2 or 3, but should have dropped it off. Probably he's just smashing it against one of our lads' legs.
Just show you the knowledge of the European market world, because Vincent Kompany obviously was a manager of Anderlecht, player coach of Anderlecht after leaving City, then was the outright manager when he retired from play. When you look at the players he's picked up, Manuel Benson on that side, the goal scorer, came from Royal Antwerp in Belgium. Zaroury came from Charleroi in Belgium as well. Josh Cullen was brought back from Anderlecht, where he played for Kompany, so he really has dipped into a league that he knows well, and decided these players are the ones to get them out of the Championship straight back to the Premier League. Back to Travers here.
Similar thing at Brentford, isn't it, with the Danish boys?
Yep. As the ball played long by the Cherries keeper down the field. Mark Travers is in orange this afternoon, the Cherries goalkeeper, as the ball is skipped off the head of a Burnley player, and Bournemouth will get a throw in off the challenge of Zaroury down this left hand side, and it will be a throw in halfway inside their own half, which Adam Smith, the Cherries captain, will take. They have lost, Cherries, their last 2 home FA Cup ties. but they've never lost 3 in a row at home, as Chesterfield's parity has been cancelled out already by West Brom. It's now Chesterfield 1, West Brom 2 in the Cup. Carlin Grant and Middlesbrough 1, Brighton 1. Middlesbrough back on terms pretty quickly through the informed Chuba Akpom, Gary O'Neill's former club. Middlesbrough, of course, has a ball back on the halfway line, or one of his former clubs, I should say. Better known for his time on the south coast with Portsmouth, as the ball goes back to Harwood Bellis in the heart of the Burnley defence here. 21 minutes played, BBC Radio Solent, across the airwaves on the south coast and around the UK via BBC's online and digital services, including BBC Sounds. Just tell Alexa or your smart speaker to play BBC Radio Solent. If you're listening on it via another means, you can get out in the car, listening via BBC Sounds as well, wherever you are across the UK, whatever your perspective. And the score here is Bournemouth 1, Burnley 1. As the Premier League's 16th place team hosts the team top of the Championship. Charlie Taylor down the left-hand side for the visitors, up towards the halfway line. He was clipped by Ryan Christie. He tried to keep going. He looked like he was trying to sort of buy the free kick, Charlie Taylor, but in the end he got enough clips from Ryan Christie that he did eventually get a sail.
He didn't have to be as dramatic as he was.
He just realised there was nowhere really to go, and he had to just sort of somehow get a free kick, which he managed to do.
Hit the deck.
He has been a regular for them in the past, Charlie Taylor, at left back, but he hasn't been in the team recently. And Maatsen has had that left back role. He also can play as a more advanced player, who's on loan at Coventry last season, the Dutchman, the Chelsea loanee. Over on the far side, the ball is with Burnley once again, and now it's Harwood Bellis who fires a great ball down that far touchline to find Benson, who skips inside away from Zamora onto his favoured left foot. And Benson then knocks it round Zamora, who stuck gamely to his task there and pinches the ball back. And then it's back to Senesi at the heart of the defence. I think the Bournemouth fans just wanted Lewis Cook to move forward here. Burnley have got a player down, and the referee has stopped the game with a Burnley player down, not with a head injury and not with a serious looking injury. Harwood Bellis has also sat back down, Willow, on the far side. So we've got Benson down and Harwood Bellis down, and concern for Vincent Kompany here that Harwood Bellis is not going to be able to continue.
No, he's the one that would be the biggest concern. As for regards that on the far side, he's actually on the line of the touchline, you know. He wants to stop the game.
He's also hard, and I think he stood on his foot or something. I mean, it's not the kind of injury that needs the game stopped there. That's not good refereeing from Tim Robinson, who is one of the Championship top referees in the Select Group 2 classification, who are the officials who referee in the Championships. This is a big appointment for him, with a VAR in action today as well. So 2 Burnley players getting treatment here. While we're talking VAR, Willow, I want to mention the VAR today, because it is Neil Swarbrick, who is the PGMOL, who are the body who manage the officials. He's the head of VAR. He hasn't VAR'd or refereed a game since the FA Cup final of 2018. Howard Webb, of course, has come in at the top of the PGMOL and is shaking things around, so no one quite knows why Neil Swarbrick is back on VAR duty, but he is on VAR duty for this game.
And nobody knows why.
Not quite sure.
Well, if he's the boss...
But that's what I mean. If it goes to VAR today and they make a mistake, I don't know what happens. Because if the head of VAR can't get it right, I don't know what happens.
He'll have to give himself a going over.
Yeah. Anyway, we're just seeing the replay here. Both of those Burnley players who received treatment are back on their feet. Benson on the far side is now shown back on. Harwood Bellis seems to be running okay as well, but he declined treatment the first time, Harwood Bellis, but he needed it the second time. Christie, the Cherries goal scorer, attacking edge of the centre circle for Bournemouth here. 1-1, 24 minutes played in the Emirates FA Cup third round. Lewis Cook down this near side. The draw, by the way, is tomorrow afternoon. Southampton will be in it after their 2-1 win at Crystal Palace. Portsmouth unfortunately won't, but they performed very well under their caretaker management. Away up Spurs, losing 1-0 as that ball from Senesi is overhit and all the way through to the Burnley keeper, Peacock Farrell.
I done a thing with Katie this morning, and I was telling her about, we used to run it on a Monday, that was the cup draw on the radio. So 10 years of age, used to run home from school to be in time for the cup draw. That was usually about 10 to 1.
Ball's back on the halfway line at the moment. Sorry, Willow, Senesi just came under pressure from 3 Burnley players. Yeah, those are famous stories of the FA Cup draw on a Monday, as Millwall fall behind at home to Sheffield United in an all-championship affair. Sheffield United are the team closest on the heels of Burnley in the Championship. 5 points between the two. As we go back to the Cherries keeper, Mark Travers defending the goal away to our left. Manuel Benson gave Burnley the lead on 6 minutes, capitalising on a mistake by Marcos Senesi, and then a poor ball from Josh Cullen across his own penalty area allowed Ryan Christie to level for the Cherries. Harwood Bellis is now down again, having kicked the ball out here.
He's got to go.
So he's not going to be able to continue the Manchester City loanee. And just a reminder, this injury came from a tackle by his own teammate on him.
Yes, it did. Yeah, they both clashed, didn't they? Absolutely not what you want to do.
So the Burnley physios, having treated 2 players on the far side, hadn't even made it all the way back round to the bench yet, so they just run on from the corner flag. 2 of the Burnley medical staff with their holdalls, with all that magic equipment in, which basically probably is a whole holdall of magic spray, isn't it?
Well,
a couple of paracetamol.
the old days it used to be a sponge.
Ooh.
The cold sponge, no matter what the temperature was.
The old bucket and sponge. So we have another stoppage here, 26 minutes gone. The stoppages have made it the last 5 or 10 minutes a little bit bitty, Willow, but what's your overall impression so far at 1-1?
Yeah, I think both teams have had little spells. I think we just shade it now that we've got a goal back. But obviously these 2 lads being injured and one coming off is going to influence Burnley in who comes on and how they set up again. Just keep an eye on that.
Just looking down towards the bench, Willow, it looks like, just having a check here, number 21, Luke McNally, is coming on, who is more of a midfielder by trade, although he's a very tall one. So Taylor Harwood-Bellis, who's the only ever present in the Burnley team this season in the league. He's played all 26 matches, Taylor Harwood-Bellis, so that will be a concern for their championship season going forward, that he's gone off. So McNally, the Irishman, has gone straight into centre-half alongside Jordan Bayer. Harwood-Bellis straight down the tunnel, so unfortunate for him, but the Cherries won't mind seeing a man who someone texted me earlier who's seen a bit of Burnley this season and said Harwood-Bellis is a wall. Won't mind seeing him go off.
No, I mean, that's a really good thing to say about somebody.
Oh, another mistake this time by Charlie Taylor.
Side.
Solanke is offside, unfortunately, as the ball cannoned off Ryan Christie from Charlie Taylor straight into the path of Solanke in the penalty area, who unfortunately was offside.
What about if you're not looking at the ball and it hits up the back up?
Offside.
It's still offside.
I'm afraid so. Any kind of forward movement off an attacking player. That's a real shame there for Solanke, who would have been in. It would have been another Burnley mistake. They've played it out on the far side here. McNally involved with his first intervention, couldn't find Roberts, and it's a Cherries throw, far side the left. The weather conditions have gone a bit weird on us, haven't they? We've sort of got dark grey skies, a bit of rain sweeping in. Looks like there's some sun trying to poke through from somewhere as well. The floodlights are on. It's a strange old mix out there at the moment. The Cherries take the throwing back to the halfway line.
It's still great for football with the way the pitch is and the water coming down.
Yeah, the rain's not quite as heavy and angled as it was earlier on, as Lewis Cook plays it up to the halfway line, and Ryan Christie for the Cherries. If you're joining us late, or maybe you're just flicking through matches and you decided to stick with this one for a bit, 28 minutes played, Bournemouth 1, Burnley 1. Burnley ahead through Manuel Benson, Ryan Christie equalising. Since then the game settled down, have been pretty even. An injury blow for Burnley a moment ago though, with Taylor Harwood-Bellis on loan from Man City limping off as Bournemouth go back to Lewis Cook. 3 changes to the Cherries starting lineup today from Man United on Tuesday. Kelly, Mepham and Lerma replaced by Zamora, Stevens and Rothwell. We haven't mentioned Rothwell too much in these first
early
28
on
minutes.
I was checking on him, but then he's gone out my man. Great
Zamora
ball.
looks for a ball out to this right hand side for Adam Smith. He just tried to play it with a bit of suave, as John William would say, down this right hand side. Then Taylor's giving it away to Smith, and he finds Christie right side of the box, knocks it down the right side for Solanke. Red and black shirts advancing, takes a touch off the defender and goes behind them, and in fact the offside flag was up, but the referee plays a good advantage. Cherries are committed upfield here, just 2 Burnley blue shirts though in the Bournemouth half. One of them's Benson trying to take on Senesi round the outside. This time the Argentinian El Gladiator is a bit more like his nickname and stops Benson's progress, and cleared by Zamora out for a throw.
Yes, great work by him.
That stayed in.
It has stayed in.
Seemed to curve back, and Peacock Farrell again under a bit of pressure at the back there, and Cullen under pressure from Anthony, and Burnley have just got themselves back into shape here as the Bournemouth players, who are closing down every single ball, are urged on by their fans, and Lewis Cook was a bit overzealous there in his efforts to dispossess Goodmanson down in front of us inside the Burnley half. Free kick.
Yeah, that was a full shoulder charge, wasn't it, in the back? Never going to get away with that one.
It's one of those, isn't it? Running towards your own supporters who are urging you to say, go on Lewis, and then you just pile through them anyway, knowing you're going to give the free kick away probably, but the fans probably enjoyed it. 1-1 the score. John Williams is the voice alongside me, who is the former central defender and assistant manager of the Cherries. As the ball down this left hand side, Christie challenges Goodmanson, and that's a free kick again out wide on the left for Burnley, this time just over the halfway line. And again, some sensible refereeing from Tim Robinson, who just allows Christie off with a ticking off. Genuine attempt to try and win the ball, but just got his angles completely wrong there and wiped out Goodmanson from behind.
Yeah, Goodmanson, he's been involved in a couple of things. People keep trying to leave it on him.
There's another one of their changes. 5 changes Vincent Kompany made to their team from their last away game, which was another long trip for their fans away at Swansea. So they've had back-to-back long trips south from East Lancashire, have the Clarets, as the ball comes back out to this left-hand side again. 31 minutes played. Bournemouth 1, Burnley 1. Keeping you up to date with some of the main headlines. There's a whole host of games going on in the FA Cup today, as the U's and R's you can probably tell, because the ball's gone back to the Burnley keeper, Bailey Peacock-Farrell once again, and this time Ashley Barnes is held off it by Adam Smith, and it's knocked back to the keeper Travers by Jack Stevens. Adam Lallana has put Brighton back in front by 2-1 away at Middlesbrough. Brighton off the back of that superb win, of course, at Everton in midweek. There's a ball over on the far side for a throw into Burnley on the halfway line. A large combination down there on the technical area. Willow, Vincent Kompany, the Burnley manager, and Craig Bellamy, former Welsh international, one of his coaching staff.
Yeah, I think they've been mates at Man City, I would imagine.
Yeah, Craig Bellamy's been working behind the scenes on his badges and his experience, and the ball is, they stand sort of shoulder to shoulder, hands in pockets for Bellamy, a hand on the chest, ponderously for on the chin rather, ponderously for Vincent Kompany, as Gary O'Neill, the Cherries head coach, comes scooting out from his technical area to make a point quickly, as Burnley just carry the ball up to the halfway line, but at no real pace. At times, Willow, the game is played as if Burnley are the home team, isn't it? Just sit on the higher division team, just sitting with the ball, knocking it along the back.
And we're letting them have it, that's the thing.
Which, of course, again is a ploy, as it goes back to Peacock-Farrell, and this is the trigger for the press, as it goes back to the keeper. Phil Billing and Solanke start charging on to try and put pressure, and that pressure has worked again, as Burnley can't clear their lines, and again it's the substitute McNally who puts it out.
Zamora and Anthony have been a little bit quiet, haven't they? I expected a bit more of them on that side.
Rothwell back towards the halfway line. Unfortunately, the former Blackburn man has put it straight out of play himself over on that far touchline, and it will be a throw into Burnley just over halfway. So 1-1 the score. Burnley haven't won in their last 10 away FA Cup trips to Premier League opposition, a record that goes back to 1999. But 1-1 still here at the Vitality Stadium. Burnley just playing it around again along there. Back line, the slide in there from Jordan Bayer, who's on loan from Borussia Mönchengladbach. Another use of the European club market by Burnley to bring the 22-year-old here to partner Howard Bellis at the heart of the defence, as Taylor comes out on this left-hand side again. But seeing a lot of the ball, but Bournemouth have the avenues cut off, and again Phil Billing is sent to press the ball as Burnley play it around at the back. Here's McNally on the far side, who this time does manage to find a teammate over on that right-hand side. Roberts up to the halfway line, little 1-2 with Brownhill, over halfway to Benson, who is, as Willow says, one of the boxer tricks wide out that Burnley have got. Cullen carries it through midfield for Burnley, over the halfway line down to this left-hand side. Picked up again by Zaroury on the left side now. Moroccan turns inside Adam Smith, then turns outside. His teammate's in the way, but Zaroury gets the low cross in towards the near post, where Barnes swivels. Two defenders have to block it. Ryan Christie gets a little tag back inside his own penalty area. Clever play by Ryan Christie, but some smart footwork and a decent cross in there from the left-hand side from Anas Zaroury.
Yeah, good work by Christie to get it. As you say, just got a little munch and drag back from the Burnley player.
You picked that up from the loan from Borussia Mönchengladbach, didn't you? Just to update you on Boreham Wood against Accrington, by the way, it's 1-0 to Accrington in that game. The National League side are behind. No goals between Fleetwood and QPR, Hull and Fulham, Ipswich and Rotherham. Millwall 0, Sheffield United 1, we told you about, and no goals either between Shrewsbury and Sunderland, which is also League One at home to the Championship. Ball down this right-hand side for the Cherries. Up jumps Lewis Cook in the centre of midfield against Brownhill. Picked up, though, by Goodmanson. He gives it away to Rothwell, who tried to knock it to the left, but it got stuck under his feet. And Burnley managed to smuggle it back to their keeper, Peacock-Farrell, who clears first time right-footed.
He done everything right except the final pass.
Ashley Barnes tried to win a free kick on halfway there from the challenge by Stevens, but referee Robinson wasn't interested. And Burnley have it again on this near left-hand side, just short of the halfway line. Christie and Billing with the challenge, and the referee didn't like the challenge by Christie on Cullen. Free kick to Burnley, just short of halfway.
I think he's won a free kick there. He knew Christie was coming along the side of him, and he's just thrown his left leg out. Christie's booted it.
So free kick to Burnley on this left-hand side. 35 minutes played, still locked here at 1 each between these two sides, with only 5 places between them in the football pyramid. I didn't check exactly, but that would probably be the... Would that be? Oh no, Chelsea against Manchester City would probably be the smallest gap, wouldn't it, in the in the pyramid. Although in fact Chelsea are probably further away than 5 places from Man City, aren't they? I haven't got the Premier League table right in front of me at the moment. It's been changing after the midweek games, of course, as the ball down this left hand side. City are 2nd, Chelsea are 10th, so there you go. This is probably the smallest gap between the 2 teams in the Football League pyramid, as that one's lost by Anthony in the centre of the field, and over to the right hand side it goes, and Connor Roberts up to halfway for Burnley here. He threw away that early lead with a mistake by Cullen. Bournemouth again happy just to sit off and allow Burnley to knock the ball along their back 4 inside their own half.
A lot of possession, but I can't remember them being too dangerous.
Just a couple of times down the side, isn't it? Benson and Zaroury have made a couple of things happen as they look for Benson again, and again Jordan Zamora just waiting for Mark Travers to make his commitment, and out of the goalkeeper again is watchful of the conditions, and the ball skips through to the Irishman.
Well, he knows it's coming through to him. I wouldn't be very happy if I was Zamora. I'm looking at the situation. I know he's waiting for the goalkeeper to say something.
Can you hear that Mark Travers didn't say anything?
No.
There you go. He may well have done. Jordan Zamora might just be covering his own back.
Well, I want to hear him from here.
Okay, well, when he's down this end of the second half, he might have a chance. Goodmanson over on the far side, the right for Burnley now. Roberts has got forward, level with the edge of the penalty area, down the right side of the box, looking for Benson. Across goes Senesi. Benson lost his footing, I think, with a little bit of an urge from Senesi, and it's a Bournemouth goal kick away to our left. All the reaction, don't forget, to the defeat for Portsmouth and the victory for Southampton earlier in the lunchtime kick-offs. Available to listen to at Solent Sport. We'll play the best of it out, of course, here during the half-time interval, which is just less than 10 minutes away, and all the reaction from this game after 5 here on BBC Radio Solent, as Mark Travers, the Bournemouth goalkeeper, clears from left to right up towards halfway. That's a free and unchallenged header by McNally, and then a shank by the Cherries, and Zamora out of his left foot, out for a throw-in on halfway to Burnley.
That's not the first one he's done today. Zamora needs to get his boots on the right feet.
Solanke very quickly pressing McNally, and again forcing the wayward distribution from the substitute, but Bournemouth can't make anything of it, and it's out for another throw into Burnley over on the far left side.
It's like a hot potato at the moment. Both teams are giving it away.
Ball back on. Oh goodness me, I thought that was going to be a mistake by Brownhill there as Christie was lurking, but he just about got enough on that with the underside of his boot, I think, to scuff it out to his teammate. It goes up to Goodmanson again on this near side, shadowed all the way by a combination of Stevens and Christie. Good hassling by the Cherries players to knock Burnley back into their own back 4 again. McNally brings it out, fires it over to the far side, and Benson just over the halfway line on the Burnley right. It hasn't been the sort of pulsating cup tie that's had much to get the crowd out of their seats so far, Willow.
No, it started off bright enough, but it's just gone. Every time Burnley have possession, it seems like it's a case of us waiting to win the ball back.
I'm not going to say it's a bit like watching Man City, watching Burnley with the Vincent Kompany link either, and comparing the 2 teams, but there's that element, isn't there, with the ball played over the top towards Ashley Barnes, and Mark Travers again comes out to claim it on the edge of his penalty area. There is the element that things sort of go past. Oh goodness me, Lewis Cook's lost it in his own penalty area, and now it's Ashley Barnes, spreads it through, opportunity again as it's squared for Zaroury, and Bournemouth have made 2 massive mistakes at the back, and Burnley have profited both times. This time it was Lewis Cook who just presented it 20 yards from his own goal to a blue shirt, and as Burnley calmly played it across the 6-yard box, it was tapped in by Anas Zaroury to put Burnley back in front after 39 minutes. Disaster.
It is a disaster, as you say. He's offside.
Ooh.
And he's...
Brownhill, there's a possible offside situation here. Having just seen one look at the replay, there's certainly a couple of very close calls here, and the referee Robinson is waiting on the edge of the penalty area here, because Brownhill first of all and then Zaroury coming in are both in positions that Willow, if the angle was right for us to have a look at, could be offside.
Oh, I'm sure he's offside.
Lewis Cook is frantically looking in his left sock for a get out of jail card here, and the VAR, Neil Swarbrick, who we've already mentioned.
VAR check in progress, possible offside.
So there's 2 offsides to be looking at here again.
There is. I think they're both offside.
Yeah, we're having a look, Willow, here. Checking goal, possible offside.
No, he's behind the ball, that one.
Well, we're looking at the ball from Brownhill across to Zaroury on the far side here.
Is he?
Which is about 10 yards from goal. He's the one who tapped it in. I thought the first ball to Brownhill looked more like it might be offside.
Ooh.
But they've obviously checked that one. It's very, very close. The layout is green, Willow, which means that is onside. So if that is the one they look at, this goal is going to stand. Referee Robinson is getting the message now, and the goal does stand. And it is Bournemouth 1, Burnley 2.
Yeah, ever so tight, but Burnley have cracked it just before half-time. Big psychological blow. I haven't seen it 2 or 3 times Yeah, it's onside, no doubt about that.
I want to see the first one again. Willow.
Surely they'll have looked at both.
I mean, they will have done, surely. I mean, I know he hasn't done VAR for 4 years, Neil Swarbrick, but surely he's checked both of those. The first one with Brownhill looked more offside to me, but anyway, we never saw a stationary angle of that one with the right lines, but I'm sure it's been checked. Hull 0, Fulham 1 elsewhere. Kazawa's put the Premier League side in front there. Marco Silva back to his old club. Chesterfield 2, West Brom 2. Dobra has got the goal. Is that Alex Dobra, the former Cherries youngster? No, it's Armando. There we go. Alex Dobra went back to Romania, I think. There's a ball over on the far side at the moment with Burnley, who they probably can't believe their luck, Willow. Two glaring Bournemouth mistakes have presented them with 2 goals.
Well, look, the game has been about mistakes. They've done it themselves.
But only once. The ball down the left-hand side at the moment, looking for the scorer, Zaroury. Got to say, by the way, there was calmness personified by Josh Brownhill. Now that the goal has been given and was onside, the ball across the 6-yard box could quite easily have tapped it in himself or tried to score.
Yeah, he could have done, yeah.
He had the awareness around. He would have been furious, though, if he had knocked it across and it was offside. Anyway, it's back to Travers away to our left. We mentioned the game hasn't had a lot in it, apart from the 3 goals, which have come from 3 mistakes, as we say. And all of them pretty much unforced. Marcus Senesi and Lewis Cook of Bournemouth, interspersed by Josh Cullen's mistake.
Self-inflicted, definitely.
The Championship's leaders and England's top scorers have a couple here on the south coast. Bournemouth have at least scored for the first time in 5 matches through Ryan Christie, but at the moment they're behind as the ball goes back to the Burnley keeper, Peacock Farrell again. Away to our right, McNally over on that far side, plays it in field, and again he's fired it to Connor Roberts, who's pinged it back to Peacock Farrell, and fair play to Burnley. They passed their way out of this. There was a couple of very dodgy passes in there, and they have got out of it. The fans are applauding, and I'm not surprised. Charlie Taylor again, his first movement, Charlie Taylor, is always to look to go to ground, isn't it? And again he's under the challenge there on this near side. I remember him for it before in the past, actually, and he wins another free kick down underneath us and leaves a big 3 or 4 metre long skid mark on the turf down there.
Well, he's going to have a look at this, Gary, again. Always seems to be fighting against the waves, doesn't he?
Ball in field from Goodmanson to Ashley Barnes for Burnley here, just over the halfway line. Goodmanson continues his run down the left side of the penalty area. Adam Smith in pursuit, holds him up for the moment. Back in field it goes to Zaroury once again. He's got Goodmanson still, he's got Brownhill in the penalty area. Ball back to Zaroury, who's gone through them and has put Burnley 3-1 up, and that is all just way too easy. There's about 5 red and black shirts in the way there, and Zaroury, with his right foot this time, smashes it into the bottom right-hand corner, and Burnley have hit Bournemouth with 2 sucker punches before half-time. The first one came from a mistake, that one was a collective mistake. Poor defending, 2 for Zaroury, 3 for Burnley.
It is poor defending, but what they're looking for, nobody wants to give the penalty away. Everybody's so tentative, but somebody's got to block it out. You've got to do something to stop the run. I don't know how he's got past 5.
Well, he's gone past Christie, I think, there's 3
of them round him there.
Yeah, it's gone past Stevens, it's gone through the legs of Billing. There's about 6 red and black shirts will around that.
Yeah, there was. Shouldn't have been a problem.
Well, Bournemouth 1, Burnley 3 in a game that just hasn't really had anything in it, and Bournemouth find themselves 3-1 down. And as you say, you mentioned about Gary O'Neill's, he's got things to think about. There's not much he can do from the technical area about the 2 unforced errors, but the team have just got to defend better than that. That was flimsy.
Well, he was giving the ball back straight away.
Deary me. Cherries fans are not going to be impressed with that, even if maybe it is some of the newer fans who are in today, who've got tickets, who can't normally come. We'll be interested to see the reaction at half-time, which is only less than a minute away. Ball over on the far side goes out for a throw-in. Burnley want a free kick. They just get a throw-in decision in Bournemouth's favour.
It's quite a stern tackle by Rothwell, but
we talk about the percentage possession, Willow, and sometimes, as you say, it doesn't tell the story, because Bournemouth have been happy for Burnley to have it. Bournemouth have only had 34% of the ball at home to a lower league opposition. 2 attempts on goal for the Cherries, 6 to Burnley, 3 on target, 3 goals.
Amazing.
Stevens up to Rothwell now on the halfway line. He has got a couple of attacking options on the bench, but when you look at, sometimes teams save up their best attacking options for later in the game. Bournemouth have got the same 3 on the field up front, Willow, who started at Man United away. So it's not like they've got all the big guns on the bench to bring on and change this from an attacking sense.
Well, look, it just feels like to me that there's something in midfield not quite right. We need someone to set up play, to be the playmaker, you know, be the pivot in the centre of the pitch and put people in wide positions. Earlier on we've done it once or twice. I don't think we've got down the left hand side yet.
We've just begun 4 minutes of added time at the end of the half as Burnley have it in their defensive areas again, over to the right hand side. Bournemouth 1, Burnley 3
miles
in the FA Cup third round as Benson down the right hand
up?
side. Is the flag going to go off eventually when Benson plays the ball over on the far side? It's not, as Benson whips it in. Ashley Barnes' header strikes Jack Stevens, and again the Cherries were just stretched on that far side for a moment. The flag never came, the decision was obviously onside, and Billing brings it up to halfway and tries to send Solanke away in a race with Bayer over on the left hand side, and strong defending from the German there knocks it behind for a corner, and Bournemouth have got a chance here with 3 minutes of added time remaining with a set piece to try and get some respectability back in this half.
I'm still amazed that wasn't offside. It looked yards off to me.
I'm going to say you're just at a slightly inferior angle than the assistant referee.
Yeah.
But anyway, here comes the corner from Jaden Anthony. Away to our right, 1 minute of the added 4 has been played. Burnley leading by 3-1 here. Back it comes to Rothwell, just outside the penalty area. Goes back further to Lewis Cook. Is this a training ground set up? Deep to the back post where Anthony wins the header, back into the box. Senesi going piling in, half cleared only as far as Christie, it's past the post. Is that a great save or a deflection? I thought it was heading for the bottom left corner from Christie.
Well, he's given a corner. The referee has clipped somebody, whether it was the keeper or not. We'll have to wait and see. Good head back.
Everyone on this side of the ground thought that was going in, I think. Is that a great save? I still haven't seen an angle. Anyway, it's gone past the post off somebody. I think it might have come off the defender's foot. And another corner to the Cherries as Christie's effort went wide. Anthony over in that far corner. The Cherries left once again into the near post. Not a strong enough delivery though from Jaden Anthony, and a comfortable header cleared by Josh Cullen for Burnley.
Yeah, and it was. Again, just have to be careful not to hit that first man.
Ball on this near side. The Cherries right again with Stevens, who switches it back out to the left hand side and finds Anthony. 2 of the 4 minutes have been played. Your verdict at Solent Sports. What are you doing about this? As Zamora's crossing wasn't too bad, but it wasn't close enough to a red and black shirt. Headed away by Bayer. Once again for Burnley, out to the far left hand side. Jaden Anthony hangs across in. The goalkeeper will come here. Billing was just being eased off the ball by Barnes, and Peacock Farrell makes a comfortable claim.
I just looked at us there. We had 4 at the back. 4 red shirts with nobody to mark. Just somebody central in that midfield. I'm just thinking now he's going to have to switch things around a little bit.
Volley clear long down the field by Peacock Farrell, all the way through to Travers at the other end of the field. Not too much bother for Burnley in that. And Vincent Kompany still pacing around, prowling around on the edge of the technical area.
Purring around, he'll be.
Yeah, he will be at the moment, because the Clarets have certainly taken the chances they've been presented with, and we say presented with in 2 of the 3 cases, and the third one was charitable itself as well. At Solent Sport on Twitter, as Travers, the Cherries keeper, has the ball at the moment, looking for options. In the end, fires a long one down the field, which Anthony was trying to get on the end of, but cleared away by McNally up towards the halfway line. Now Zamora over on that left hand side plays a little 1-2 with Anthony into the feet of Solanke, who hasn't really managed to get in the game. The Cherries number 9. Christie then tried to help it on. Solanke picks it up 25 yards out. Good individual skill, and then he's brought to the ground in the D, and that will be a free kick to Bournemouth right on the edge of the penalty area. And with 20 seconds left, set piece shot here to try and, as we say, halve that deficit.
Well, it's a massive opportunity this to get ourselves back into the game just before half time.
Just a little clip there from Jordan Bayer, I think it was, on Solanke's heels as he surrounded by 4.
He did fantastic, didn't he, to dribble it through 2 or 3 of them.
So the ball is just about on the line on the right hand side of the D, as Chesterfield of the National League go 3-2 up on West Brom of the Championship. Here it's the Championship leading the higher division opposition by 3-1, but Bournemouth with this set play. The penalty spot is around about the marker where the wall has been pushed back to, which makes this 22 yards out if referee Tim Robinson has got his maths right. Just looking around the ball willow. Phil Billing is there, Ryan Christie's there, so is Jaden Anthony. I don't think they've agreed yet who's going to take it, Willow. Phil Billing looks like he's in charge. I think.
Well, he's usually the power master, isn't he?
He is. I wouldn't say this is his best spot unless they're going to roll it sideways here. 3 Cherries players on the end of the Burnley wall to the left. Pretty much. Well, how many Burnley players are in that wall? 5? 6? Where's Kiefer Moore lurking in the shadows at the side somewhere? He's on the bench, unfortunately. So this is going to be the last kick of the half. We've played 5 minutes of added time. 4 were allocated. Cherries trailing 3-1. Can they make something happen here and lift the spirits at the Vitality Stadium just before the interval?
It's what we need.
Christie or Anthony are the options. It is Ryan Christie, right-footed into the top of the wall. That will spin behind. Is there going to be time to take the corner? Referee says there is.
Well, I'm not sure if it hit somebody on the head. That's the problem, you have to get past the head.
Anthony with the corner, far side the left for the Cherries. We thought that was going to be the last kick of the half. This certainly will be from this set play. Anthony raises his hand, off go the runners, whipped in towards a 6-yard box, cleared away by Burnley. That is the last action of the half here on BBC Radio Solent, and certainly a number of boos around the Vitality Stadium as Burnley of the Championship go off at half-time, leading Bournemouth by 3-1 in the FA Cup. I guess a sign of things to come was when Marcus Senesi's error presenting the ball to Burnley after just 6 minutes led to Manuel Benson firing them in front. Burnley returned the favour though. Josh Cullen's misplaced pass across his own box was turned in by Ryan Christie on 12 minutes. But suddenly 2 goals in 4 minutes for Burnley at the end of the half, both from the Moroccan international Anas Zaroury. The first one after Lewis Cook gave the ball away, and the second one when there were too many defenders, not enough attackers, and still Zaroury managed to wiggle between them and put a shot into the bottom right hand corner. The Cherries really coming back with some huff and puff, Willow, towards the end of the half, but I don't think we can say that Burnley don't deserve to be in front, Willow. They control the game really.
They deserve to be in front, no doubt, but the only thing I will say is personal errors are the bone of every manager and every player's game. That when they happen, they're an absolute nightmare to deal with, and it's happened twice today. They've had one their end, we've had two our end. They're very difficult to, you just don't know when they're coming. They're a big surprise. The ball breaks down, everyone's out of position, and they're in. It's something that you have to look at. But going in at 3-1 down, he's got a big talk at half time now, Gary. He's going to make changes, I'm sure. There's no point in not making changes. I understand league games, leave it 10 minutes, see how it pans out, but you've got to do something at half time in the FA Cup.
And what would you do, Willow? You normally say Anthony or Zamora there.
Well, I think we need somebody in the centre of midfield, whether he swaps Cookie and he becomes the playmaker. But I think Rothwell, he's just been off the pace at the moment.
We'll see what Gary O'Neill's response is at half-time. More from John Williams to come. Your thoughts on Twitter at Solent Sport as well, and on WhatsApp as well. We'd love to hear them. Make sure you start your message with the word Solent and stick your name on. Send them to 08000 321 333. Half-time here in the FA Cup, third round. Another very poor afternoon for the Cherries on home soil so far. Bournemouth 1, Burnley 3.
This is BBC Radio Solent Sport.
Chris, Willow, thank you very much. Let's recap the action here in the first half of the Vitality Stadium. Sloppy defending, theme of the afternoon so far.
That's a poor ball from Senesi, give it away, and now a chance for Manuel Benson, in for Burnley, and scores for Burnley! Marcus Senesi, the guilty party, presented Burnley with the ball, and the Championship leaders take ruthless advantage as Manuel Benson slams in his 8th goal of the season. 5.5 minutes played and Bournemouth behind in the FA Cup. Ian Matson as he goes back to Peacock Farrell in the Burnley goal. That's a mistake to Ryan Christie. Oh, Burnley with a charitable gift presents it straight back to the Cherries. One mistake each, one goal each. Josh Cullen for Burnley knocked it across his own penalty area straight to Ryan Christie, who finished it first time, and the game can start again with 12 minutes gone. 1-1. Oh goodness me, Lewis Cook's lost it in his own penalty area, and now it's Ashley Barnes, spreads it through, opportunity again as it's squared for Zaroury, and Bournemouth have made 2 massive mistakes at the back, and Burnley have profited both times. This time it was Lewis Cook who just presented it 20 yards from his own goal to a blue shirt, and as Burnley calmly played it across the 6-yard box, it was tapped in by Anas Zaroury to put Burnley back in front after 39 minutes. Disaster. Brownhill in the penalty area, ball back to Zaroury, who's gone through them and has put Burnley 3-1 up, and that is all just way too easy. There's about 5 red and black shirts in the way there, and Zaroury, with his right foot this time, smashes it into the bottom right hand corner, and Burnley have hit Bournemouth with 2 sucker punches before half time. The first one came from a mistake, that one was a collective mistake. Poor defending, 2 for Zaroury, 3 for Burnley.
Really poor defending from Bournemouth so far this afternoon, heading out of the FA Cup at the hands of Championship Burnley as it stands. 45 minutes to try and turn it around. What would you do at half-time? Who are you bringing on from the Bournemouth subs bench? At Solent Sport on Twitter if you want to have your say during this half-time break. 08000 321 333 is where you can send us a message on WhatsApp. 81333 on the text, please. Make Solent your first word. stick your name on there as well. Don't forget, text messages are charged at your standard network rate. Coming up during the half-time break, well, we've already had Pompey knocked out 1-0 away at Tottenham. Southampton are through, though, a 2-1 win away at Crystal Palace. Reaction from both those games to come. I'll run through the scorelines from elsewhere in the FA Cup this afternoon, and all of our non-league sides as well who are in action. This is the home of live sport across the south.
BBC Radio Solent Sport.
Tonight, join me, Richard Latto, for Stereo Underground here on BBC Radio Solent. And this week it's a punk party, which means plenty of tracks like that and plenty of stuff like this. Stereo Underground with me, Richard Latto, this Saturday night at 6 on BBC Radio Solent, the sound of the South.
Jordan Clark.
BBC Radio Solent Sport.
Hey, Richard Latto, Stereo Underground up after us with the sport. Then from 8 o'clock, Steph Newenhouse and BBC introducing before Alex Dyke takes over from 10 to really get the party going from the next 3 hours or so through into the early hours of Sunday morning. Let me just tell you about BBC Radio Solent's big winter giveaway as well. It has arrived and we're helping you hopefully banish those January blues. We could be sending you and your family to one of the South's top attractions, including the likes of the Spinnaker Tower, the Bournemouth Oceanarium, maybe even Marwell Zoo. You need to make sure that you are listening. I know you do this already, between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. weekdays on BBC Radio Solent for a cue to call klaxon, just like these lucky listeners did.
Which English town has football teams called United and Wednesday? It is either...
I've got it.
It's either Sheffield or it's Oxford. What are you going to go with?
It's going to be Sheffield. Confidence is the way forward.
Oh, Wally! You're only right!
Yeah!
Yes!
What is the name of the royal family's castle in Scotland? Is it A, Balmoral, or B, St James's Palace?
Balmoral.
She said with some confidence.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right! Sway! I could hear the relief in your voice when you realised you knew that answer, Lynn. So,
well, I was worried it was going to be something about fish.
You could be one of our lucky winners this coming week. BBC Radio Solent's big winter giveaway returns on Monday from 10 a.m. BBC Radio Solent Sport, good afternoon to you. I'm Jordan Clark. Just coming up to 4 o'clock, Bournemouth 3-1 down at home to Championship Burnley at half-time in the third round of the FA Cup. I'll do the rest of the scores in a moment, but let's bring you some reaction from earlier on today. We'll start with Southampton because they are through to the fourth round. A 2-1 win away at Crystal Palace, back from a goal down. Goals from James Ward-Prowse and Adam Armstrong in a scrappy affair at Selhurst Park. Here's the Saints boss Nathan Jones with Adam Blackmore.
And it's just dinked in by Maitland-Niles, and then they've given it away. And Saints are going to take the lead, and Adam Armstrong gets the easiest goal he will ever score. Boy, they needed a gift, and boy, have they got one. Palace 1, Saints 2.
Cool, Nathan, that feels better, doesn't it? Because that was hard fought, and what I was most pleased for you with your team was the fight they showed and character, because it was a difficult game.
It's a really difficult game coming here to Palace, you know, with the crowd, with everything, with the talent they got in the front four, and I thought we defended our box really, really well. With one instance really where we didn't defend well enough and they punished us, and then to show the character that we showed, I'm so really proud of them, and look, I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of the coaching staff and everything, because we've had to come through a tough, really tough week and things. And look, it's just one win, but it showed the structure we showed in terms of how we passed the ball first half. I thought we were excellent. Just needed a bit more cutting edge, but I thought we deserved the win. I really did, especially coming here away and being an away side. Really delighted.
And also, you got a bit of luck with the goals, and you probably feel like you deserve a little bit of luck after the last couple of weeks.
Well, you look at their one, they got a ricochet and came and they put them in. So yeah, it wasn't a bit of luck. I'm not saying that Adam Armstrong's is a bit of luck. He's shown real aggression to come off shape. We showed aggression all afternoon to come and press and to work hard, and I'm really proud of that. And then we know about Prowse's delivery, but at the end of the day, Prowse's put 4 or 5 in first half, where we didn't get on the ending. So okay, but you know, that's the quality that he has, and we're delighted with that.
You made the changes obviously to the team, played Lianco at right back, played a 4. Tell me what was going through your mind with the selection, because you've got 3 games in a week and it's not easy to get the personnel right, the fitness right, and everyone's been going on about the 5 at the back. You didn't play with the 5 at the back today.
Well, times we did. If you look at it,
end,
you look at it, think no. At the end we did, and we built in the 5, and we, you know, we have to be flexible in terms of what we do, but we need personnel as well. So I have to work with what I have at the minute in terms of personnel and what I can get the best out of them. In midweek, a load of criticism for thing, but we conceded pretty much one chance in the whole game. Right, and that was, so we're defending better. We showed it at Fulham, we're defending better, only 2 set plays. So we're trying to build something here, because without the greatest respect to everyone, we're out of 92 Football League clubs. Southampton last year took the 90th of points they've taken. So we're having to change stuff. We're having to build, we're having to do stuff, and that won't happen overnight. So we're having to find solutions, we're having to make sure we do that. But the players have responded. I'll take on board every bit of criticism, and I prefer that they criticise me rather than the players. And we've showed today that 1, we got character, 2, we got quality, and 3, they worked and defended and wanted to win a game, and that's all you can ask as a manager.
Nathan Jones, Saints boss with Alan Blackmore after a 2-1 win away at Crystal Palace in the FA Cup. No such luck for Pompey, but a battling performance, restricting Premier League big guns Tottenham just to a 1-0 victory. Harry Kane with the goal. Here's Simon Bassey, the Pompey caretaker boss, with Andy Moon.
Kane comes deep to receive the ball for Tottenham outside the penalty area, into the box, 1-2, gets it back, chance for Kane, what a goal! Harry Kane smashes it past Griffiths. It's a brilliant strike.
How proud are you of your side today?
Yeah, immensely proud. You know, I said to the boys after, you know, we can achieve some really good things here, and that's a start, building block towards that. You know, really proud of their effort, and the challenge now for us is to bring that effort every week, bring the intensity to our game that we had today, bring the structure to our game, and take that into League One.
What was the message going into the game, with the keys that you're putting into the team?
Yeah, well, you know, ultimately a 1v1 defending, you come to places like this, you've got to defend well. So 1v1 defending all over the pitch is really important. And ultimately, probably, if we're going to be hypercritical, one bit of combination play that we've got wrong has cost us in the end. But as I say, when you lose to a world-class player producing a world-class finish, that's not even a chance. Sometimes you have to just clap, although I never.
How much were you enjoying the way your team was defending from the sideline?
Yeah, you know, we have to be resilient. This is a strong, obviously a strong team, Tottenham, but League One's a strong league, and you know we have to be resilient in our defending. And you know we probably give up too many soft goals at times this year. So today was starting to really limit number of chances, and we've done that against a really good Spurs team, so pleased with that. As I say, our challenge is to bring that week in, week out.
Pompey caretaker Simon Bassey with Andy Moon after a 1-0 defeat for the Blues away at Tottenham in the 3rd round of the FA Cup. Leicester are through as well. They won 1-0 at Gillingham earlier on today. Reading through, 2-0 win over Watford earlier on, and Preston beat Huddersfield 3-1. At half-time, Blackpool 1-0 up against Nottingham Forest. Accrington Stanley with a 1-0 lead away at Boreham Wood. Chesterfield, the National League, 3-2 up against Championship West Brom. Incredible stuff from Paul Cook's side in the first half. Fleetwood 1, QPR 1. Fulham lead 1-0 at Hull. Ipswich 1-0 up against Rotherham. Brighton 2-1 up at Middlesbrough. It's Millwall 0, Sheffield United 2, and goalless between Shrewsbury and Sunderland. In the National League, Eastleigh 1-0 away at Wealdstone. They've scored another goal in the opening minute of the game, like they did in their last match from kickoff. I'm not sure just how quick the goal was from Lloyd today, but inside the first minute. In National League South, Hampton Waterloo 1-0 with Braintree. and Weymouth are a goal down away at Ebbsfleet. In the Southern League Premier Division, Dorchester Town 2-1 lead away at Hartley Whitney. Harvey Bradbury and former Pompey youngster Alfie Stanley with the goals for Dorch. Winchester City losing 2-1 away at Met Police. Pooltown and Gosport's games were postponed due to waterlogged pitches. Tottenham's game in Southern League Division 1 also off today. Bashley are playing their 2-0 down at home to Bishop's Cleeve. Lymington have a 2-0 lead over Willand Rovers. Shoaling's game postponed. Hamworthy's game postponed. Wimborne Town 0-0 with Westbury at half-time. Players starting to come back here at the Vitality Stadium. Changes for the Cherries by the looks of it. Lloyd Kelly, Kiefer Moore being ready to come on. That will make Rich in Wimborne happy. Says, subs please, very poor. He wants Pearson for Rothwell, Moore for Christie, Dembele to add pace and energy. Rich, thank you for your message. Hello as well to Dean in Walkford, says this has been embarrassing but no surprise. We're so poor and I think the manager's job hangs on the next 45 minutes. Richard on at Solent Sports says, I'd be amazed if Gary O'Neill was still in charge at 10 p.m. this evening. Totally outclassed, says Wing, by a championship side. This is going from bad to worse. Hello to Alex as well, who says, nice that we finally scored, but we need to hold the ball much better. Gordon in Highcliffe, a short but sweet one. He says, what a load of rubbish in the first half. Burnley players are back out now as well. The rain is falling again. We are on all BBC Radio Solent frequencies, FM, DAB, Freeview, smart speaker, ask it to play BBC Radio Solent, and on the BBC Sounds app online as well. Your commentary team for the second half with Bournemouth 3-1 down at home to Championship Burnley. John Williams alongside Chris Temple.
Thank you, Clarkey. And as you say, news of substitutions, a triple substitution for the Cherries at half-time. Lloyd Kelly, Jack Stacey and Kiefer Moore all on. Jordan Zamora, Marcos Senesi and Joe Rothwell are off. So Adam Smith has come over to left-back, which is not a good indictment on Jordan Zamora's first-half performance. Jack Stacey is at right-back and Kiefer Moore has gone up top with Dom Solanke. So Billing and Lewis Cook now the central midfield. It looks like it's gone, Willow. A 4-4-2. We'll give you the teams in full in just a moment, but Gary O'Neill had to react with something there.
Oh, definitely at half time. There's no doubt he's going to do that. I mean, yeah, I can understand them leaving it 10 minutes in the league game, but the FA Cup being it what it is and you're 3-1 down, make the changes now.
Give you the teams in full in a second. Cherries are going from right to left in this second half. The rain is still sweeping in. Red and black stripes, black shorts and red socks for Bournemouth. Change colours of sky blue shirts for Burnley, navy socks and sky blue, navy shorts and sky blue socks for the hint of claret. Our officials are in a luminous yellow. Tim Robinson from West Sussex is the man in the middle as Kiefer Moore chases it down towards the corner flag and wins his side a throw-in right down by the flag on the left-hand side. I'll give you the teams, I say, very shortly indeed. Just one contentious VAR moment in the first half, which was judging a marginal onside decision for the second Burnley goal after a mistake by Lewis Cook. After Ryan Christie had brought Bournemouth back to 1-1. 2 goals from Anas Zaroury just before half-time, giving Burnley that 3-1 lead.
The thing about it for me is, and they're talking about it downstairs, did they look at the first offside? The first pass?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
I'm not sure. I mean, maybe they did. We'll come back to that a bit later if it becomes further relevant. But that, I guess, as we said earlier, before kick-off, papering over the cracks really of a disappointing first half for Bournemouth. I will give you the teams, I promise, in a second. But the ball hasn't gone out at the moment. Burnley just playing it around along their back line at the moment, having themselves had to make a substitution in the first half. And that will go out of play there. That's a poor ball by Bayer, who looks at his studs for some reason after hammering the ball out for a throw-in. Cherries have got Travers in goal. They've now got Smith at left-back. Kelly's on as captain in centre-half along with Stevens and Stacey. The midfield then, Ryan Christie on the right, Cook and Billing in the middle, Anthony on the left, and Solanke and Moore up top. So 3 substitutions used, as we say, already by Gary O'Neill out of the 5 available to him this afternoon. Bournemouth playing it around at the back at the moment. Burnley have Peacock Farrell in goal, Roberts, McNally, Bayer and Taylor their back 4, Cullen and Brownhill centrally with Benson, Goodmanson and Zaroury, and then Ashley Barnes up top. As we look over to the far side of Burnley, get a throw-in on that far touchline. Just talking to one or two people about the possession stats at half-time, Willow, and how when Burnley are just knocking it along the back line and are allowed to do so, that will obviously skew the possession stats. They just take an unusual route. And again, it's McNally, who looks like he should be the former Oxford man, for the Cherry to try and get at when he's got the ball, because he keeps giving it away. Throw into the edge of the penalty area by the Cherries to Moore, and then back to Christie, running along the top of the box. Here's Dom Solanke. That's a magnificent save, but the header is in, and Bournemouth, within 2.5 minutes of the restart, have got themselves immediately a big lift. Dominic Solanke, just his 4th goal of the season. It came from a Burnley mistake, which led to a Bournemouth throw, and Solanke was there at a second attempt to head it into the net, past Peacock Farrell, and it's Bournemouth 2, Burnley 3.
Yeah, what a great start to the second half that is. Dominic's getting a talking to from the referee, as is the goalkeeper. There was a bit of a, after the ball hit the net, I think the keeper kept hold of it, and Dominic wanted it back quick.
Well, it was a nice link up on the edge of the box. Stacey's throw into Moore, who held it up. Christie along the edge of the penalty area, and he fed Solanke with a lovely bit of vision in behind the defenders. Good save from Peacock Farrell first time around, but as it looped up into the 6-yard box, Solanke was there to nod it home. That'll do Dom Solanke the world of good as well, because he has been a bit goal shy.
Absolutely. It'll give everybody a lift as well, the supporters, especially
Lloyd Kelly and Jack Stevens, along with Mark Travers, just getting in a bit of a communication breakdown there, but they've managed to wriggle their way out of it. And it does, Willow, set the whole second half up now with that early goal.
Changed everything.
Triple sub. Kiefer Moore was involved. Stacey was involved. 2 of the subs who came on played a part in that goal. Here come Burnley, though, at the other end. And hopefully as an attacking, entertaining spectacle, it might open up a bit as well here. Here's Cullen, edge of the box for Burnley, who shoots, blocked by Lewis Cook for the Cherries. And now Solanke's nicked it through to Billing, up towards halfway. Connor Roberts did superbly well there.
He did do well.
Sliding in on halfway.
That was last ditch, because we were away on this left-hand side.
Peacock Farrell again, under the U's and the R's, gives Bournemouth the ball back, the Burnley keeper, and now Anthony down the left-hand side to Solanke. Left-hand cross, Moore coming in, Christie coming in, neither of them can get there. Flashes across the penalty area. Ryan Christie picks it up, far side the right, Rain lashing down here. Stacey on the right-hand side, he fires it in, and that's blocked away at the near post, and now for a throw-in by Burnley.
Well, that's more like it, that's exactly what we want. Wide play, crosses coming in, ball flashing across the face of goal.
I can already hear people saying, why start playing at 3-1 down? But it's an encouraging start to the second half. If you're late back, 5 minutes have gone. Bournemouth have managed to get themselves back in the game with Dom Solanke's goal. His 4th of the season. He now ties Phil Billing and Kiefer Moore as joint top scorers this season with 4. And here we are early in January. Solanke down the left-hand side again now, skipping away from Cullen, running away from Anthony. Still Solanke goes level with the edge of the penalty area, draws the challenge from Cullen. Gary O'Neill's absolutely furious with the assistant referee right next to him, who thought it had gone out. Gary O'Neill, assistant, disagreed. And now Burnley under a bit of pressure inside their own half, are still playing it around well. That's excellent football from Burnley. And Benson away down the right-hand side here, up against Lloyd Kelly. Benson in field. Now it's picked up by Goodmanson on the run. Over one more to the left-hand side. Zaroury is on a hat-trick, goes round the outside, cuts back onto his right foot, and Mark Travers has to make a good save at the near post to deny the Moroccan Anas Zaroury a hat-trick.
Absolutely magnificent by the goalkeeper. I thought he'd done enough. He sent me out the gate as well when he chopped back. Hit the ball really firmly, but just got a hand to it. Trav, great save. Corner.
Strong save at the near post by Mark Travers. I'll give you the remaining Cherry subs, by the way, while Burnley prepared its corner. Plain, Mepham, Marcondes, Pearson, Lowe and Dembele are the remaining Bournemouth subs. Lerma not in the squad today, as the ball is over on the left-hand side with Johan Berg Gudmundsson of Iceland and Burnley. Rain lashing down, as we say again. Left-footed out-swinging corner into the near post. A diving header away by Solanke, exactly back where it came from. And Berg Gudmundsson will get another chance to take a corner on that far side, the left.
Well, it's the right thing to do. If you can get it out for a throw-in, it's better, but heading it back where it's come from. Excellent by Dominic.
Far side the right. This time they swap takers. Brownhill takes it along the edge of the box to Gudmundsson. Back out it comes to the right-hand side. Brownhill to whip this one in. Solanke's there again with the header away. Only as far as Cullen, 25 yards out. Charged down by Lewis Cook, and the ball fires out towards the Cherries' dugout. Well controlled by Tommy Elphick.
Yeah, it's a good block. We had plenty of people running at the ball, which is what you want to see. 10 yards off the edge of the box.
So ball is on the halfway line at the moment with Burnley down this near right-hand side. 7 minutes gone in the second half in the FA Cup third round here. Bournemouth 2, Burnley 3, as Roberts takes the throw in into the Bournemouth half of the field. Down this near side, picked up by Brownhill, the Burnley skipper. Then Anthony to McNally. Hot potato gets rid of it immediately. This time it went to a blue shirt. Out to this near side. Bayer then gives it away on halfway to Billing, and Ryan Christie will pick it up. Chested on over halfway, like he pulled back Gudmundsson. Referee allows play to continue. Over on the left-hand side now. Wide on the left, it's Zaroury again. He's got runners ahead of him. Barnes in the middle, headed away by, headed away by Kelly, but he rearranged his body and ended up sort of thigh it away. Yeah. He was setting for the header and the ball just dipped on him and he ended up with his thigh or his lower chest clearing it, and it's out for a Bournemouth throw on the far side.
Well, it was a good touch. Sometimes they come in waist height and you're worried about handball, but he got it away with his thigh.
Well, it's turned into a horrible day again weather-wise here, as it did last Saturday, as they look for more down the right-hand side, and Bournemouth win another throw-in as they progress up towards the halfway line.
It's not particularly windy though, which is always my pet hate.
No,
just rain's fine by me.
Yeah, not too bad. 3-2 in favour of Burnley. £105,000 up for grabs for the winners today. The ball is wasted by the Cherries. Lloyd Kelly holds up his hand in appreciation there of his mistake, as he knocked it straight through to Peacock Farrell in the Burnley goal.
Yeah, it wasn't one of his better ones, but I'll let him go with that because he does pick them out now and again.
He got a thumb up and a round of applause from the Cherries technical area as well, coaching staff. So it was obviously the intention that they wanted. As Christie over on the right hand side, right of the centre circle for the Cherries, Lewis Cook tried to find Stacey, but he unfortunately presented it to a blue shirt, which has now got Stacey committed upfield over on that far side. They try and knock it round, and then Jack Stevens has got his body in the way with his hand, according to referee Robinson. Free kick Burnley, far side the left, just over
Might
halfway.
not be a bad thing there. They had one over on the left hand side. Might have been awkward if the ball went through.
Well, I mentioned earlier on that Bournemouth have lost their last 2 home FA Cup ties. They have progressed from their last 3 round 3 ties. They've never done that 4 seasons in a row in the FA Cup. Of course, in most seasons before the last 7 or 8 years, they've had to start in round 1, so it's always been a bit of an effort to get to round 3, but not so much the last 6 or 7 years. But here they are, trailing at home to Championship leaders Burnley by 3-2. Burnley with the short free kick over on the far side. Triple change for the Cherries at half-time, with Kelly, Stacey and Moore coming on for Zamora, Senesi and Rothwell. Burnley having gone 3-1 up just before half-time. Brownhill down this near right side, that's overhit, and Travers in the Cherries goal comes again right out to the edge of his box to claim.
Yeah, good starting position by Trav. I think they might have corrected him. There was 1 or 2 in the first half where I wasn't sure about.
Kelly's ball in behind again, looking for the runners, but unfortunately Ryan Christie from over on the right-hand side had way too much ground to make up, and now Adam Smith having to switch over to left back for this second half.
Yeah, if it gets us the win, no, he won't mind.
No, he won't mind. I think Jordan Zamora will probably mind, having been taken off as the ball floated over the top by Stevens. Down the middle looking for Solanke. McNally with the header for Burnley. Over the halfway, or up to the halfway line it goes. Can it be kept in by Zarori? It is over on that far side. And now it's an opportunity for Barnes, just over the halfway line for the visitors. Switches it out to this near right-hand side where Benson, as the ball skips off the turf, can't quite gather it as well as the ball person can down there, who grabbed it quickly and returned it to Adam Smith. Middlesbrough 1, Brighton 3. Alexis McAllister back on the score sheet after his victory in the World Cup. The noise behind us is because Bournemouth are just standing with the ball in the central half position at the moment, as Lloyd Kelly eventually knocks it over to the right hand side, and as a result of that, Ryan Christie has to head it back to a blue shirt, and Barnes knocks it in, and here's Manuel Benson for 4-1. 4-1 Burnley. Lloyd Kelly at centre half. 4-2, apologies, John Williams is putting his hands up. 4-2 Burnley. I'm getting carried away with the Cherries' defensive errors in this game, because it was Lloyd Kelly's ball that didn't really give Christie a chance. Straight back to Burnley, and there was Manuel Benson. He's got 2, Zaruri's got 2, and it's 4-2.
Well, I'm not sure what Kelly was thinking there, because I think he actually stopped it. He tried to play him offside. I think he had no hope of getting him. But anyway, it's another calamitous goal against our own making again.
Well, you have to be careful what you wish for there, don't you? Because the Cherries fans are getting on at Kelly for not releasing the ball, because there wasn't the right option on. So eventually Kelly releases the ball to a Ryan Christie who couldn't control it. So not a great ball by Kelly, but again, he was waiting for the right moment. The crowd got onto him. I'm not saying they made him make the bad pass, but you've just got to be careful sometimes with that. But ultimately it's way too easy, and thankfully we've got top producer Tom in the studio, who will be editing out the fact that I said 4-1, and that will never make the light of day again.
I'm going to tell everyone.
Yeah. Kelly has the ball at the back there. There's a few boos there with Lloyd Kelly on the ball. Now I hope that's not an individual Bournemouth player getting booed. As the ball on this near side is with Burnley once again now. Billing tracking back, and Benson is pushed off it quite easily, but it's out for a Burnley throw. There's still 33 minutes to go here. Conceding 4 goals at home to a lower league opposition is no good. It's not what is going to win you games, absolutely not. But there's half an hour or so here for Bournemouth to get back in the game.
It's a strange situation, isn't it? You know, having got the goal back, everybody was given hope. I don't feel it's knocked out of us just yet.
Cherries will continue to try and work hard. The ball is with Roberts at the moment. He's not rushing this throw in on the near side. Now it's Rory who's come across this right hand side. Oh goodness me, flashed in towards Goodmanson, and then Cullen in the penalty area. Cannons it against Cook, and Bournemouth will bring it away. Down this right hand side, up towards halfway where Solanke gets beyond Cullen. Solanke up to halfway to the left, and Jayden Anthony. Off the left hand side it goes. Anthony continues his run, spreads it over to the right hand side, and Jack Stacey looks to set it with his right foot, crossing into the penalty area. Not a great delivery from Stacey, too easy for McNally to clear, and now Charlie Taylor over in that far corner up against Christie will clear it down the line.
Yeah, there was a lot of pace on the ball, but he had to miss the first man. Kiefer run off to the far post. You've got to go on the end of them.
Well, again, that's the quality we talk about, isn't it? Sometimes it's the frustration that's just unchallenged from Stacey. Not enough quality on the cross. He's never going to reach Kiefer Moore. And it's now back with Lloyd Kelly at the heart of the Cherries defence again. Forward it comes to Anthony on this left-hand side. Solanke is wide on the left. Again, Tommy Elphick's clapping his hands above his head, the Cherries' first-team coach, for that ball by Kelly. And then Solanke is clipped. Free kick to Bournemouth, wide on the left, 35 yards out. 4-2 Burnley.
Well, this is a better angle than the straight ones. They can clip this in, aim it for the far post. Somebody's got to make a run, jump early if you have to, take a chance and try and get a clip on it.
Well, I've not been at many games, Willow, where the Cherries have conceded 4 goals at home inside 56 minutes, particularly to a team from a lower division. As the ball on the left-hand side with the Cherries for a free kick. Christie and Anthony over this one. Ryan Christie delivers it, left-footed towards the back post. It didn't quite reach Kelly. It's cleared away by Burnley out to the far side where Stacey picks it up. I can't remember what the score was when Jordan Clark went to get the cups of tea he's just come back with, as Billing has it on the right corner of the penalty area now. Bournemouth still keeping the pressure on. Lewis Cook's ball deep, couldn't quite reach Moore, headed behind by Burnley. Connor Roberts was there, and it'll be a corner on the left hand side to the Cherries.
There's 2 of them on the far post there. Kiefer can afford to gamble to get in front. I think it was Anthony who was just behind him.
Anthony's sitting down this corner, away to our left as the rain continues to drive down here in Dorset on the FA Cup third round day. This will be one of the shocks at the moment in terms of official shocks, as Anthony whips the corner into the back post. Peacock Farrell wasn't getting there. McNally cleared it away out to the far side. Cherries will pick it up. Stacey again, half-time substitute, tries a little step over, and unfortunately for him does a little step over and a stumble, and the ball rolls over the touchline for a Burnley throw.
Yeah, he couldn't get it out from under his feet there. Deep corner, that one, missing everybody out.
Well, there's been 6 goals, Willow, and I reckon if we include the Burnley third just before half-time, where there were too many defenders around and they managed to let Zaroury get a shot away, I think all 6 have come from mistakes.
They're all self-inflicted, they are, yeah. Yeah, we've made it harder for ourselves.
I've included the 2 Bournemouth goals as well in mistakes.
Yeah.
So, Burnley haven't taken this throw in yet. Taylor on the far side will throw it down that far touchline. And it's a nice little turn by Solanke now, 30 yards out. Solanke towards the edge of the penalty, but going cross field. And now Anthony onto his right foot. Oh, it's a very weak finish from Anthony on his right foot. And he dribbled it straight at the keeper.
Yeah, well done, Dominic, though. Really pushing at the defence, drawing players towards him. Just gives Anthony a little chance for O'Kayla in the corner, but didn't catch it, did he?
Just had a little message from Chris Smith, the former Cherries head of communications here at AFC Bournemouth. He said he's tuned into us for the very first time because he's normally at a game. First thing he did was tune in to hear me get the score wrong. As the ball comes down to this near side, and Roberts has got it wrong there as he's miscontrolled the ball out of play, and Anthony with a quick throw down the left side. Good sliding challenge by McNally, level with the edge of his own penalty area for Burnley. Bournemouth get a throw in down the left hand side. 4-2 in Burnley favour with almost 62 minutes gone here. Kelly, having come on at half-time and taken the armband off Adam Smith, won't be happy with his part in the 4th Burnley goal, as Stevens plays it forward but immediately gets it back on the far side. And now it goes back to Mark Travers defending the goal away to our right. He's conceded 4. Neto not too far away. I'm not sure again how much necessarily you point at Mark Travers as he gets the ball back again to our right, but Neto is gaining fitness with every week, probably going to be still 2 or 3 weeks away as Moore jumps inside the Burnley half of the field against McNally, who's of similar height to Kiefer Moore. They're both also wearing number 21 on the back of their shirt, as Taylor in the left back position for Burnley comes under pressure from Christie. And now it goes back again to Bayer, who with yellow boots Comes striding out the German from the heart of the Burnley defence. Roberts in field to Benson. Clipped over the top where Brownhill will pick it up. He's a player Bournemouth have been linked with, Josh Brownhill, but if you're Josh Brownhill at the moment and you're 4-2 up away at Bournemouth and you're seeing Cherries play like this today, you're probably not immediately putting Bournemouth in your sat-nav, are you?
No, you're not.
18 minutes gone in the second half. John Williams alongside us. You're listening to BBC Radio Solent. Already today we've brought you full commentary on Tottenham 1, Portsmouth 0. 8,000 Pompey fans at Tottenham today. Absolutely superb effort there or thereabouts. And Crystal Palace 1, Southampton 2. Full times in the lunchtime kickoffs with us. Reaction on our Twitter right now at Solent Sport as Bailey Peacock-Farrell, the Burnley keeper, again in those long black leggings underneath his bottle green goalkeeping kit this afternoon. Plays it along the top of his box, and now it's Goodmanson coming in field over towards us where he finds Benson on the halfway line, just a few feet away from his manager Vincent Kompany. And now down the right hand side, Roberts has continued his run up against Adam Smith. Two right backs in tussling there, two experienced right backs, and it goes out of play on this near side for a throw in level with the edge of the penalty area to Burnley.
Yeah, it's a little bit awkward for Adam. Naturally right sided, can do a job over here, but it's not easy to switch sides.
And Gary O'Neill did meet Vincent Kompany as a player once in the FA Cup. 1-0 victory for Manchester City at Middlesbrough. Benjani, the former Portsmouth striker, getting that goal. That was their solitary meeting in this competition, as it's lined up here from a long way out, and the shot is beaten away by Travers, and it runs to Benson, whose first touch was poor in the penalty area, and now the shot low comes in from Brownhill.
Offside.
And the flag goes up eventually there, and it was Charlie Taylor who had the effort from a long way out, I think, and it was beaten away by Travers, and Benson couldn't make it count.
No, good defending, you have to say. To catch him offside, we're going to get caught out here. We've got Kiefer up there.
Who?
Kiefer up there.
He's up there. So Travers will clear it away, right-footed. Blackpool are 2-0 up against Nottingham Forest, so another Championship team is at a 2-goal advantage on a Premier League team. Blackpool at home to Forest. Billings lost it to Benson down this right-hand side. Benson, right side, he's gone for a lob or a chip or something. I'm not sure what he was trying to do there. Anyway, it's gone sailing past the left-hand post. He puts his arm up in apology. It remains 4-2 to Burnley. There are 25 minutes left.
Again, Philville just giving the ball away there too cheaply. I think he was trying to clip that for his teammate far post, but it didn't. He got miles too much on it. Another sub coming up.
Yeah, we are going to get another sub in a minute. Sariki Dembele, I think, is getting his instructions from Gary O'Neill down on the touchline. Again, another player I thought could have maybe started today.
Me too.
Yeah, but Gary O'Neill opting not to rock the boat, rewarding Ryan Christie for a good performance at Manchester United. But he does give you that other option, does Sariki Dembele, as the Cherries try and, in this final 25 minutes, claw back this 4-2 deficit. 2 for Benson, 2 for Zaroury. Goals in between for the Cherries from Ryan Christie and Dom Solanke. Over to the far side, the right. The ball with Stacey, but his ball forward again is partially intercepted by a Burnley player. And now Ryan Christie's got a bit of space. Adding towards the centre circle, looks for the big switch and finds Anthony off this left-hand side. Anthony fronting up against Connor Roberts to the edge of the area. Anthony goes, going to do this all himself, runs into traffic. And again, the ball George closed on in there. Too many Burnley shirts around. And it's back with Bournemouth again, but forced away from goal.
Yeah, Christie still on it.
Christie has it, 25 yards out. Cherries are going to make a second change. Burnley are about to make a change, I think, in a moment. They've got a couple of players being called back towards the bench as we wait for Bournemouth again down this left-hand side to try and put a forward movement into action. Adam Smith has it, wide on the left to Anthony. Attacking the north end, away to our left. In from Anthony towards Moore, helped on by Solanke to the back post. Off a defender in the end, as Stacey couldn't get there. Cherries corner, far side the right.
Yeah, good cross in, Kaelan towards the far post. Somebody trying to get on it, but sky blue shirt that did it.
So Dembele about to come on for the Cherries. Looking down to the substitutes bench. Might be Sammy Bastian or Nathan Teller who's about to come on for Burnley here. Just keep an eye as that substitution is being got together. Bournemouth have a corner away to our left, heading for the final quarter of this Emirates FA Cup third round tie at the Vitality Stadium. Deep from Ryan Christie towards the back post, still in the air. Kiefer Moore didn't even jump, but he's happy for Burnley to nod it behind for another corner.
See, I know that's lofted, but I wouldn't mind that. I think the bigger lads can head that back across goal.
Well, in the end they doubled up on Kiefer Moore, so he didn't get the chance to get a contact on it, and it comes across to this left-hand side for Jayden Anthony to try and deliver a corner now for the Cherries. This one's hanging underneath the crossbar. Again, it's a Burnley head that wins it. A good header it was too, and behind it goes from Taylor for a corner to the Cherries again.
Yeah, he wins some good headers, Taylor, doesn't he? That's not the first time.
Officially into the last quarter of the game. We're going to see Jack Cork, the Burnley captain of Norm, come on very shortly as well. In it comes from Anthony to the near post this time, flicked on by Christie off the line, still there with Lloyd Kelly, off the bar, they can't get it in. I think that might have hit the woodwork twice.
It did.
Off the line, off the bar, off everything, but never into the net.
Bar and post, I think it hit. That was incredible.
Well, we're going to get a replay of that as it goes behind for another corner. It was off Ryan Christie, it was off the line by Ashley Barnes. Lloyd Kelly's header hit the bar and the post and then bounced behind. Incredible. Corner Cherries on the far side. Whipped in again deep towards the back post where everybody's run under it, but Lewis Cook is coming around the back to try and keep it in. It hasn't stayed in. Up goes the flag. And after a couple of promising set pieces, that one was, I'm afraid, woeful. And it's going to be a sign for the substitutions. It is going to be Nathan Teller. And it is going to be Jack Cork. But first of all, for the Cherries, it's going to be Dembele for Christie.
Yeah. I mean, he's done bits and bobs, Christie. Obviously got himself a goal. He's probably been our most dangerous player.
Well, decent reception for Ryan Christie, coming off at 4-2 down. I suppose you're thinking, what am I going to get here? But actually, that was a relatively decent response.
Can you think of anybody who's been more influential?
Not really, no.
Dominic, maybe?
Yeah. So Goodmanson off and Jack Cork on for Burnley. That's the first change. Nathan Teller is also coming on as well. His boots are so white and shiny, they look like tennis pumps. Nathan Teller.
Well,
and he's coming on for Manuel Benson, who will not get a hat-trick.
Jack Cork at Bournemouth quite a few years ago.
You're right, John, you're right. So Teller coming on, who's having a very good season, on loan from Southampton, is Nathan Teller. Out of the picture, sent out on a season loan by Ralph Hasenhüttl. So he is on, and Cork is on. I'm going to say it now, Willow. Jack Cork's got 9 yellow cards this season. I think he might be on there just to break the game up a little bit in that number 6 role.
Well, they see as it's one, they've just got to lock it up now.
Yeah. So I think watch out for the cheeky little fouls and the taking yellow cards for the team and things. Jack Cork is a wily campaigner at 33 years of age.
So is his dad.
Yeah. Alan in a different position. It's the ball back with Burnley.
Forward, yeah.
Yeah. Ball back with Burnley at the moment. Nathan Teller's come out to this right-hand side to replace Benson. They've had a pretty good game, or a very good game actually, did Manuel Benson with the chances he had. Stacey has it in the centre circle for the Cherries. We've got 20 minutes left. It's Burnley leading Bournemouth here at the Vitality Stadium by 4 goals to 2. After a chaotic start to the second half, 2 goals in the first 11 minutes, 1 apiece after Bournemouth have reduced it to 3-2. Over on the far side, Burnley have it now. Goes back to Josh Brownhill, now Cullen, whose mistake for the Bournemouth equaliser seems a world away now. Burnley fans are laying again as McNally again down this right hand side. Ball goes sailing out of play from the Irish centre half.
This ball boy is sharp as attack. He's on everything. Yep. One bounce and it's his.
It's ball boy or ball girl we should say, because they're sat there with the hood up, so I can't possibly tell you if it's a boy or a girl, but whoever it is, ball person, they're doing a good job. Blackpool 3, Nottingham Forest 0. Hamilton has got the third there as the ball is back with the Cherries in their own left back position here, facing their own byline, trying to do things the right way, but they found 4 or 5 blue shirts hassling them, and now Cork in the centre of midfield gets it away from the industry of Anthony, and now down the right hand side, an opportunity again for Brownhill, hair sodden by the rain, heading towards the corner flag. It's a bit early to go, oh, you've got to be kidding me. There's the pathetic free kick by the corner flag given by the assistant referee. Anthony has hardly touched Brownhill, who all he was ever going to do was try and win that free kick, and the linesman got absolutely suckered.
Well, do you know, yes, he did get suckered, but you know what, you've got to invent a way of being cute. You've got to find a way of not even touching them. You know, you can stick your leg through his legs, try and drag the ball back out of away from him.
Or the officials just do not give it.
Well,
it's another option. Wade Smith, the assistant down there with the flag. Very flimsy decision. Brownhill with the free kick for Burnley, which is as good as a corner from the right hand side, who's only got about half a yard of angle off the byline on it. Comes out to the top of the box, not the edge of the box one again. It nearly was. Teller couldn't get there, and now Lewis Cook breaks away. Anthony to his left has got more pace. Burnley with their fresh leg substitutes chasing back. Teller's in pursuit of Anthony, who has to hold it up, and in the end Roberts got back there too. Good bit of double teaming from them, and Bournemouth just didn't quite have the gas to make the length of the pitch.
No, they didn't. It was great work by Cookie to win the ball back, but we didn't have the pace to get past them.
That almost felt like Burnley were taking the mickey with the edge of the box corner there, Willow, having seen Palace do it twice last week and score from one of them. It's exactly the same one, but the Cherries had Lewis Cook ready to cut it off. 4-2 Burnley, 18 minutes just less to play on BBC Radio Solent. The inquest after 5, if that is what it will be, get in touch with us. We'll tell you how later as Anthony plays it into the edge of the box for the Cherries. Cleared away with his head by Bayer. Now it's Billing, gets it from Smith, and Bournemouth have to go back to halfway again. And they've got a big job on here in the remaining 17 minutes to claw this one back.
Yeah, I've got to get the ball to Dembele, see if he can come up with some of his tricks.
Imagine that at home to a team from a lower division. Oh no, Lloyd Kelly's played it straight across the field and out for a throw-in on the far side, and that missed its target by 10 yards.
Yeah, that's the second one, isn't it? Like I say, he's usually pretty competent on the big switches, but the last two have gone awry.
Well, he's still trying it. Didn't get a great reception for that one. And Burnley at the moment are on track for a 4th successive victory here at the Vitality Stadium. The last win, as we say, back in December 19. In fact, it was in the Premier League. I corrected myself wrongly earlier on. Jay Rodriguez, late winner. But 4 away wins here in a row will be some going for Burnley. Becoming one of their favourite trips, and certainly the 1,000 Burnley fans who've made the journey south will enjoy what they see, but fancy Bournemouth having to score 4 at home to a lower league team to even get a replay. As Stevens and now Cook play it out over on the far side of the right. Back it goes to Travers, the keeper again. Right-footed, clears it long. Brentford away next week, a full clear week after this. Brentford away in the Premier League, a 5:30 kickoff next Saturday, followed by Nottingham Forest at home, who are also exiting the FA Cup today by the look of it, as the ball over on the far side is kept in by Burnley, and off Dembele for a Burnley throw-in just over the halfway line.
Kiefer nearly nicked that. It was really touch and go who was going to get there first, and he was just second.
Ball over on the left-hand side for Burnley. It was Barnes who helped it out to that far side. Stacey's trying to usher it out to win a throw-in, and he does manage to do that as the flag goes up. So Rory thought he was able to continue, but up went the flag. So I'm just looking at the post-match, Willow, when we look at how, as if sort of not assuming Bournemouth aren't going to get back in this game, but they've got to explain conceding 4 at home to lower league opposition. Is it just going to be as simple as what can you do about unforced errors? what can you do about it?
Well, it's down to the individual.
Yeah, but where does it go deeper from there? As Burnley down the left-hand side with Taylor now rushing towards the corner flag. I think that's a corner. Oh, it looked like a corner from here. As Taylor thought he pushed it against Lewis Cook. Those two have a little chat. I think Lewis Cook might have known he knocked that out, but referee pointed for a goal kick. Smith on the near side. BBC Radio Solent, last 15. Bournemouth 2, Burnley 4. In the third round of the FA Cup, as Cook immediately gets to shout. There's a couple behind him, gives it away, but the referee brings the free kick back for the foul on Cook. If you're just tuning in and you hear the commentator say latest score Bournemouth 2, you're thinking, oh, it's going well. Then he says Burnley 4.
Yeah, it's not going well.
Jordan Clark's got the AFC Bournemouth squad on the website, all the mug shots scrolling up and down to the left. It's almost like a shooting gallery. He's looking at which one he wants to fire bullets at, away to our left. He'll be here on hand with Willow after 5 to have a chat about all of this and where Bournemouth go from here. Still working on signings in the background. Some big numbers to be spent out of the Bournemouth coffers. Bournemouth fans will want them spent pretty soon. Stevens wide on the left. Now Jayden Anthony just over the halfway line. Infield he goes. I think I might stay off Twitter this evening, next couple of days. Lewis Cook over on the right hand side trying to thread Stacey in, but that ball's again misdirected and poor. Back it comes to Cook again now. He plays a little 1-2 with Anthony, or he couldn't get the second ball back. Cherries got their arms out claiming a free kick. Burnley then can't put Nathan Teller through, and Mark Travers has it again.
He's gone through a quiet period here. He needs something to start trying to get back in this game.
Billing looks up for the long crossfield ball to find Stacey. That's a decent ball if it skids off the turf, and it's controlled by Stacey, level with the edge of the penalty area, and again it's Charlie Taylor who's launched himself in the way to block Jack Stacey's cross. Taylor's one of those trying to prove a point to Vincent Kompany, saying pick me in the league.
Yeah, he's been a bit of a standout, him.
Dembele over on the far side hasn't really had a chance to get the ball in attacking areas at the moment. As Billing goes back to Kelly on the halfway line. All the highlights, by the way, FA Cup match of the day this evening. BBC website as well, the BBC Sport website will have highlights of all of these matches. You may not want to watch them if the game finishes in this mode, but if Bournemouth come back and win 5-4 in the last 13 minutes, you probably will want to watch them. At BBC Sport website is the place to go for that. Long ball down the centre from the Cherries, dealt with by Mayer, helped on by Brownhill for the Clarets in the centre circle, and then Cullen pings it out to this near side, and then Teller slipped over. I told you those tennis pumps were no good, slipped on his backside. when the ball was coming towards him. And Cullen, again, Roberts, they really are passing it around with confidence, Burnley, aren't they?
Well, they're 4-2 up with 13 minutes left. It's exactly what you'd expect.
Well, they have won their last 6 league games in a row, including their last couple away from home of Burnley. Just 3 defeats in all competitions all season in 29 games, and one of those was to Manchester United in the League Cup.
Oh, look, no mistakes. We've come up against a good side here, but the thing about it is that all the goals we've conceded are down to our players.
Yeah. Again, it's one of those where the divisional line between these two is a little bit blurred, isn't it? 5 places between them, swapping divisions last season. Here come Burnley down the right-hand side with Roberts, who continues to move on down this right-hand side. Can't quite dig it out to the edge of the box, and Teller and Anthony will bring it clear. 11.5 minutes to play. No, Anthony won't bring it clear. Anthony will sell Adam Smith short, and Roberts will put it out for a throw-in.
It's not one of his better days, Anthony. Just a little giveaway there when he usually quite safe with short passes.
The Burnley fans know what they think. You're going down is the signal from them over on the far, or the song I should say, from those from East Lancashire. 11 minutes here to make some sort of late show of intent to stay in the FA Cup. And again, it's not the position, or not the progress in the competition is not top of the priority list, but conceding 4 at home and losing for a 5th game in a row.
It's the manner of the defeat, isn't it? That's the thing that people will look at. The fact that we've, get back to 3-2 and you think game on here, and then we're going to shoot ourselves in the foot again.
Anthony down the left-hand side for Solanke, just over the halfway line. He's felt like he was pulled to ground, but again, referee not interested. Alexis McAllister is enjoying his return to goal-scoring action. He's got a couple now. 4-1 to Brighton away at Middlesbrough, as the Cherries can't find Kiefer Moore down the centre, through to the keeper for Burnley. Another possible shock is coming at the New Meadow, where Shrewsbury of League One now leads Sunderland to the Championship by 1-0. All the scores with Jordan after full time, of course, here on BBC Radio Solent. And talking of messages, by the way, I've had Andrew Moon, the Portsmouth commentator, on to correct me, saying there was 8,000 Portsmouth fans today. He says it was nearly 9,000. So apologies for that, Andrew. I wasn't up this morning to count the coaches on the Eastern
I heard
Road.
Andrew say that on the way in. I didn't like
I was
to,
already here. I was so committed. I was already here, so I wasn't listening.
I didn't like to.
You didn't like to correct me. Sorry. There's a stoppage here, by the way. We're just going to see a substitution for Burnley, which is why we're just talking about. That is a yellow card for Adam Smith here, by the way, which is his 6th of the season. But they're competition-specific yellow cards, so I'm not sure that a booking for Adam Smith here is going to massively affect his rest of his season. As we see a change coming up here, and Anas Zaroury, who's got 2 goals from the left-hand side, 2 goals just before half-time, which effectively slanted this tie firmly in Burnley's favour. He's going off to be replaced by the North Macedonia international, Darko Chulinov.
I did mention to you before the game about this boy.
You did.
They were absolutely buzzing about in the Burnley media. They said, I think they've got a world beater on their hands. A bit early for that, but he certainly made his mark today.
Well, as I say, he's part of the Morocco team, the Morocco squad, who had a great World Cup. Only came on in the 3rd place playoff, as I mentioned earlier on. So 4-2 in Burnley's favour here. There are 9 minutes left. Some other forlorn handball shouts there against Jack Stacey out on this near side, and Adam Smith can't get on to the end of that one out on this near side. So producer Tom in my ear, wary that I've made a couple of errors today, just repeating what I said a moment ago.
I don't wonder, all the best ones do.
Competition specific. Luckily Bournemouth have made more mistakes on the pitch than I have today, but it's been a close contest.
I think between the two of us they've made more mistakes.
Burnley have it on this right hand side. Roberts into the edge of the box. Here's Nathan Teller trying to shoot for goal, and he does drag it with his left foot rather, well past the post. So we would like to say good evening to our commentary teams making their way back from London. Adam Blackmore and Joe Tesson probably doing about 120 on the M3. Andrew Moon on the inside lane with Guy Whittingham probably doing 65, I would think, in the BBC wagon. Checking his mirrors left and right as the ball is up over the halfway line. Adam Smith can't get there. McNally powers it forward. 8 minutes remaining in the 3rd round of the FA Cup here on BBC Radio Solent. As we say, a clear week and a big week coming up. The ball is long down the field from Travers over the top. Solanke won't get there. McNally nods that one back through to Bailey Peacock-Farrell. And the 1914 winners of the FA Cup, Willow, move a step closer to repeating that.
1914.
Last FA Cup final to be played at the old Crystal Palace venue. Stats of the day for you as Billy knocks it out.
World War I started in 1914.
I feel like everything I say now, I need to just go on the internet and double check it before I say it. But as a commentator, getting the score wrong, it doesn't get much lower than that. I'm going to go and have a word with myself after the game, rest up for a week. And
Don't
come
be
back
too
stronger.
hard on yourself.
No, I'm sure you won't mention it ever again. Do you remember that time at home to Burnley when you got the score wrong? To be honest, it's just I was mesmerised by the amount of errors in the game today. Burnley just playing it around in the central third at the minute. You're not missing anything. Bournemouth have won it back. Here's Dembele trying to get away from the very close attentions on the far side of Chilinov.
That's unbelievable. He's pulled his shorts off.
I think it was his first involvement in the game, Chilinov, and I'm afraid you can't rugby tackle, and that is a yellow card for the North Macedonia international, who may well be featuring against England in the Euro 2024 qualifiers, because England are in the same group as North Macedonia.
He wants to go again, the referee.
Free kick on halfway. 4-2, Burnley lead. 7 minutes to play, just less than that. Billing on the halfway line. Is there one goal here to set up one of those old school grandstand finishes that we used to enjoy here, Willow, at the Vitality Stadium?
Yeah, I hope so. They'll get one more chance, that's for sure. Whether they take it or not, I don't know.
Burnley set up in a pretty solid 4-5-1 formation now, with Jack Cork anchoring that midfield. Well, Bournemouth, if they're going to take any solace from today, they're not the only Premier League team to concede 4 to a Championship team, because Nottingham Forest now have away at Blackpool. 4-0 there through Jerry Yates. Here's Stacey over on the far side, the right, for the Cherries, just over the halfway line. Ways to get in touch, of course. Jordan will remind you of them after full time. We want to hear from you this evening, Cherries fans, or even Saints and Pompey fans as well. Maybe you're just getting back into the area, listening in as Anthony plays it on the left-hand side into the edge of the box. Oh, it's Dembele who's still got it. It was not behind him by more. Dembele now feeds Jack Stacey. Great challenge came in there, and in the end, Dembele tried to find Stacey unselfishly, but it was Charlie Taylor again, I think, Willow, with a retreating challenge, was it?
I think Dembele should have shot, Chris. Yeah. You know, given he's 7 yards out, you're trying to make the perfect goal. Just smash one.
Anthony with the corner over on the far side, the right. We have a few seconds left before we enter the final 5 minutes of the 90. 2-4. Anthony, right hand side in towards the near post. Guess what? Doesn't beat the first man.
I know.
So Williams just kicking the desk.
I don't mind that sort of cross. I don't mind, but somebody has got to make a run, selfish run across the face of the Burnley player, just in case it is under hit.
Cherry's on the right hand side again with Dembele now, ducking infield onto his left foot this time. That cross is way too high. Everyone had made the run to the near post, and Dembele's cleared them all and through for a Burnley goal kick. Goal attempts, 6 each on target. Unfortunately for Bournemouth, 4 of the Burnley shots have gone in. 2 for Manuel Benson, 2 for Anas Zaroury. The Cherries' goals bringing the score back to 1-1, and then 3-2 down came from Ryan Christie and Dom Solanke. Gary O'Neill made a triple substitution at half-time, which immediately brought dividends. 3 minutes into the second half, Bournemouth back to 3-2. But then just 8 minutes later, some more defensive calamities, and Manuel Benson made it 4-2. Burnley have got another player down here. Just having a look, it's a bit of cramp, I think, for Ashley Barnes in midfield. Yeah. As the ball down the right-hand side for the Cherries. Again, goes back to a blue shirt. Dom Solanke's pressuring keeper Peacock Farrell. So the draw for tomorrow afternoon, you're not interested, I'm sure, from a Bournemouth point of view, but it will be before the Manchester City-Chelsea game, as Bournemouth get a free kick just over the halfway line on this left-hand side. Around about 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, BBC One. Southampton fans will be interested, they will be in it. But unless there's a dramatic turnaround here, Southampton will be the only South Coast team in round 4 of the FA Cup.
Well, we're getting towards the last chance saloon. I did say we'd get another chance. Here's an opportunity from a free kick out wide on the left.
So Anthony stands over this, everybody else has gone forward.
There's a set play here, he's bounced the ball twice, everybody's looking.
First priority to set play, somewhere near a red shirt would be handy. As Anthony waits for the runners to start their movements here. 3.5 minutes to play, Bournemouth 4-2 behind. Anthony's ball in towards the penalty spot, bouncing around everywhere, and in the end there's a blue shirt just to hammer it out to this left hand side, back to Anthony, who controls it nicely. Quite a few red empty seats now starting to become visible as Cherries fans head for the exits on a still very wet and windy Dorset evening, as Bournemouth have lost it, and now it's Teller down this near side up against Dembele, who was too strong in the challenge and puts Teller on the turf, and it will be a free kick to Burnley. Middlesbrough 1, Brighton 5. Dennis Undav, who I can't tell you too much about, has scored a 5th for Brighton. Reward for their very long journey up to Middlesbrough today in the Cup.
Well, a couple of people making for the exits, quite understandable.
1,000. Roberts down this right hand side for Burnley. Kelly wants an offside, which officials will allow play to continue as the ball runs through to Mark Travers. away to our right. So it's going to be 3 FA Cup home defeats in a row for the Cherries. They have ended their run of 4 without a goal, scoring 2 today, but they've conceded 4. And Burnley have had them largely at arm's length, and again the jeers against Bournemouth are just holding on to the ball at the back, and then Lloyd Kelly's ball looking for Kiefer Moore, beaten to it by McNally, headed out for a throw-in down the inside left channel.
Yeah, Smithy and Phil Bill having words there, not quite happy with each other's ways of doing things.
Back it comes to Phil Billing on this right-hand side, or the left-hand side rather, for the Cherries, just over halfway, trying to snake his way through, but again is too much congestion in there in blue shirts, and Teller releases it over to the left-hand side for Chalinov. He's got Barnes ahead of him. Teller back out on this right-hand side. Roberts lets it run to the Southampton loanee, Nathan Teller, who already has 8 goals to his name this season, into the edge of the box, laid off by Chalinov looking for Teller, and Jack Stevens, Southampton fellow loanee, takes it off Teller, and then Dembele's pulled back by Josh Cullen. That'll be a yellow card for the Burnley midfielder, but he won't care.
No, they won't care. They're sharing it out, aren't they? Every time he gets the ball, Dembele, somebody tries to pull his shirt or his shorts off.
Yep, but 4-2 up. That's what we mentioned earlier on about just again, that's back to the Man City days. I don't know if Pep Guardiola taught Vincent Kompany that, or certainly it became more of a factor, because that's how City do it, isn't it? They share the fouls around, take the yellow cards, break up the attacks.
Well, all the best teams do.
They do it very well. It works for them. Kelly into the 90th minute. Bournemouth 2, Burnley 4 on BBC Radio Solent. No addition to the score since the 56th minute. Bournemouth have conceded 4 at home inside an hour to Championship opposition, albeit the Championship leaders and the top scorers in the country in the English League pyramid, top 4 divisions, with 52 goals, 8 clear of the next most in the Championship. Kelly has it at the back again here. Reaction to come from Gary O'Neill. Oh, Lloyd Kelly's played a ball to Adam Smith, which Smith can't keep in on this near left-hand side.
Yeah, he's just had a bit of a wonky night, hasn't he, with his passing. The disappointing thing for me is we haven't got Dembele in the game at all. The twice he's had the ball has been centre of the pitch. I want him getting it out wide, 1-on-1, 1-on-2 even.
Teller and Smith down this near side. Kelly back to Mark Travers, defending the goal away to our right. Over to that far side. 4 minutes to be added on here. We've just begun those 4 now. 4th official Dean Whitestone holding up the board, and now Dembele over the halfway line now. Is there one final moment here as Solanke's put in behind? The challenge in on Solanke. The first one just about knocked Solanke off balance enough to allow McNally to come round and sweep up behind, and it was good defending by the 2 centre halves.
Well, I knew we'd get one more chance, but that wasn't quite as clear cut as it looked. He had lots to do, Dominic.
Well, Solanke just thought his pace there for a second was going to get him beyond the back line, but the challenge from Bayer, as we say, just took the wind out of him slightly, and McNally was there to double up behind, having come on. Remember, they lost their main centre-half, Burnley. They've played 60 minutes without their main centre-half, Willow. Taylor Harwood-Bellis, who's played every game this season.
Listen, but you know, McNally at the back, these sorts of players, they've done ever so well for their team. They've defended well, as you would expect their team at the top of the Championship.
So Burnley just continuing to manage the game towards the end, but when you're 2 goals behind and you haven't played very well, it never seems to rankle quite as much, does it, as when you're on the maybe the precipice of getting something from the game. We've played 1 of the added 4. The way to get in touch on Twitter is @Solent Sport, @Solent Sport on Twitter. Whichever your perspective today, whichever game you've been listening to, whatever your thoughts on Gary O'Neill, let us know, @Solent Sport. And you can also WhatsApp us, 08000 321 333. Here's Solanke to Moore, offside. 30 yards from goal as Kiefer Moore goes past his man. There's been 2 late goals for Sunderland at Shrewsbury, which has turned around that possible upset. It's now Shrewsbury 1, Sunderland 2. Elsewhere in the FA Cup, Jordan will have all the scores, as the Burnley fans certainly have got used to winning this season after a difficult season in the Premier League last season, which saw them drop out. The change of manager, Vincent Kompany coming in, bringing some signings in, and now they really are enjoying their season. Elsewhere, it's Bournemouth 1, Accrington 1, Chesterfield 3, West Brom 2, Fleetwood 2, QPR 1. That will be an upset. Hull 0, Fulham 2, Ipswich 4, Rotherham 1, Middlesbrough 1, Brighton 5. It's finished. Millwall 0, Sheffield United 2 is a full time, and Shrewsbury 1, Sunderland 2 still playing. Here, Bournemouth 2, Burnley 4. 2 minutes of added time to play. The ball's with Teller down this far corner, who tries to win himself a throw-in and does so off the Cherries on this near side.
I was just waiting for him to fall over there and for you to go into one again.
Fleetwood have beaten QPR by 2-1. So that is an upset. Championship team going out there. It's finished Bournemouth 1, Accrington 1. The Cherries conquerors for last year. So basically in the FA Cup, Bournemouth don't get drawn at home to a team beginning with B. Bournemouth last year, Burnley this year. No progress. And both disappointing in their own ways, as the ball on this near side, in fact it's a free kick given against Burnley. We've got 1 minute of added time to play. It's Bournemouth 2, Burnley 4. Reminder of those ways to get in touch. Solent Sport on Twitter. WhatsApp, put your name on 08000 321 333. You can even send us a voice note if you want to rant. Send us a voice note on WhatsApp. We'll play it out as long as it's clean and legal. 08000 321 333. We'll love to play some voice notes out and really hear the passion with your views. And of course it means if you have to come to the party a bit more rather than just sending a nameless tweet or text. Let's hear what you've got to say. As Bournemouth get a free kick on the halfway line. 30 seconds left. Last chance to restore some sort of respectability to the score, if that's still possible. Kelly, long diagonal ball, hoisted up in towards the penalty area. Easy header away at the back there for Burnley in the shape of McNally. Still they've got it over on the far side of Cherries, but Jack Stacey's going backwards with the absence of red and black shirts, and Bournemouth in the 4th minute of added time, 4-2 down, have passed it back into the centre circle. Over the left-hand side, looking for Kelly, trying to find Anthony. 1 or 2 shouts of rubbish emanating from our left-hand side. The 4 minutes is up by my watch, Willow. And it's also up by Tim Robinson's watch. Have a listen to that. An unhappy Vitality Stadium here. Bournemouth crash out of the FA Cup at the first hurdle, effectively. They've been beaten here by Championship leaders Burnley by 4-2. It was an afternoon in windy and wet conditions that was absolutely full of mistakes. The first one on 6 minutes from Marcus Senesi giving the ball away, and Manuel Benson putting Burnley 1-0 up. Burnley returned the favour when Josh Cullen's pass presented Ryan Christie with the equaliser on 12 minutes. But Burnley struck twice just before half-time, both of them through Anas Zaroury, the Moroccan international. The first after a mistake by Lewis Cook giving the ball away. The second when the Cherries had enough red and black shirts back there and really should have defended better. A triple change at half-time from Gary O'Neill saw Kelly, Moore and Stacey thrown on, and after 3 minutes of that second half, Solanke pulled it back to 3-2 and really gave the Vitality Stadium a lift. Travers kept it at 3-2 with a good save from Zaroury, but on 56 minutes Lloyd Kelly and the Cherries unfortunately again making hard work of keeping possession, and Manuel Benson fired it in to make it 4-2. And despite some huff and puff later on, I'm not sure Bailey Peacock-Farrell made a save apart from Lloyd Kelly glancing one against the crossbar. Your thoughts at Solent Sport. You can WhatsApp 08000 321 333. Let's get the full-time thoughts of John Williams.
Well, very disappointing when you get yourself in a situation when all the goals you concede are self-inflicted, they're down to individual errors. That's a real tight state of affairs. You know, I can remember talking to Harry before the season started, and he allocated each player, look, you're allowed 2 personal errors, look, you're allowed 1. This was all along across the back 4. We've had 4 in 1 game today. That is not a good thing, and in other games there's been other individual errors, so that is a real sickener and a hard one to swallow. The problem you have with it, you change the players and then somebody else makes individual errors. You've got to find a way of getting that out of your club. It's really working hard and really concentrating on what you're doing the whole 90 minutes. That is the big thing. So very disappointing, but you know, Burnley deserve to win.
The only member of the Cherries squad who does the full lap of appreciation to thank the supporters for coming out and spending their money on a wet and windy day is Jayden Anthony, who is a solitary red and black shirt wandering around to clap and thank the supporters. And a few of them in the North Stand clap him back and thank him for notifying that. The rest of the red and black shirts long since down the tunnel as Vincent Kompany, the Burnley manager, goes over to thank the 1,000 or so who've made the trip down from East Lancashire. He holds out his hands and bows to them, and I'm pretty sure they'll be bowing back to him. He's got Burnley on the up here, and they move through to the 4th round. For the Cherries, some big questions to answer once again. Full time here, Bournemouth 2, Burnley 4.